got moved to this week rather than last week, but still, I'm here.
Oh, righty. I need to double check why
We
this
have,
is doing this. Oh, it's because it's not open. That's why. I'll fix that.
we literally have half of us.
Also gotta find out why it is.
It's fine. The world's on fire, but it's fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
By the way, Stealth, this headset, even though I know it's cat ears, the fucking lights work with Signal RGB. It's kind of dope.
It does.
It does.
I just went to your stream to check this.
So the song's stopping, so it should, yeah, see, they're only blue. Wait for the song to start. There it goes.
Alright. I was behind, so I was like, okay, where's the blue?
It's kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to get the black ones for myself.
I will have to say those were pretty comfortable the one time I wore those too.
Comfy as hell, dude.
Okay.
I don't care. I mean, for my pink cat ears, I don't give a shit.
As you should.
Uh,
They make you feel pretty.
Yeah, I
What
was
was that?
pretty.
Alright,
They make
so
pretty
we're gonna
witty.
go ahead and start kind of breaking down into this whole situation. So, welcome everyone, viewers and players alike. This is the premiere of the sequel to Beyond the Veil, known as Beyond Etheria Ashes. The idea here is that it is a full-born sequel to the last campaign I was running on Sundays. As we wrap that up about 2 weeks ago now, which that is on the archive on YouTube if you wish to go watch it and catch up. Past that, we're going to kind of get into the rigmarole of what's going on here, kind of making sure that everyone's on the same page. This is going to be a sequel, like I said, to Beyond the Veil, where it is going to be new characters, a new world. The only character that you may notice is going to be Creed, who's going to be played by the same player, Mr. Blackburn, who will be joining us when he is able. He's currently trying to unfuck a machine, as known for what he does. As before, this is a mature stream, so viewer listener discretion is advised, and so is viewer discretion depending on what happens. So the idea here is that the players that we'll have assembled are going to be resistance fighters in this group called the Splinter. This sequel will be taking place 13 years after the end of Beyond the Veil. The King of Desert Veggies isn't in the voice call, so he gets ignored in the chat. Thank you. So the sequel takes. I'm bleeding on a Oh, you had a blood. I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what you want from me. Anyway, this takes place 13 years after Beyond the Veil. At the end of Beyond the Veil, if you haven't watched the finale, here's the synopsis. The original party went to go confront the prophets after dealing with some of the gods that had come back into the world through the event known as the Godfall. They were able to slay a few of them and beat them in combat, and they were able to make their way to the town, or the hidden city, the prophets that had been controlling everything, known as High Charity. When they got there, they were able to bring the fight to the prophets using the army that they have gathered from the resistance they had formed in the Glass Keep, from all the work they've put into trying to unify this world and save who they can against the people that they're fighting against. They get there and they begin fighting their way up the tower, making their way to the prophets. They kill 2 of them, and when they go to kill the 3rd one, to strike it down, to cut the heads off the snake, killing the body that has been constricting the world for so long, a bolt of lightning strikes through the window and kills the Kingslayer, a bounty hunter they saved many months ago, and then a large individual was standing in front of the prophet with long white hair, a thick white beard, wearing a Greco-Roman era toga, and they realized very quickly that it was Zeus himself that stopped the killing blow from hitting the prophet of truth. He went to then strike down the party, and something stopped it. The 3 human characters that had been in disguise for so long, who were looking away to go home, were sent home with no recollection of what had occurred, minus possibly the idea of a bad dream. The elf assassin that was with them, or the sorcerer, was sent back to Head Thunder with a new mission in mind, as her original mission was complete, and Creed was given a choice. He was given a job. The Watchers, Bill, basically gave him the choice to be the right man in the wrong place. And so they brought Creed to be the man of action, so to speak, the linchpin of the resistance, with all the knowledge he's gained from leading large military forces, from fighting the gods himself, from knowing the artifacts and the history of the lands that he's walked through and learned, to become the thing that will help solidify the freedom the world wishes for. Especially since after the tower exploded, the party was considered dead. The military fell back to the northeastern region towards Ravenholm, and the world started to go quiet. And so we found ourselves following Creed through a mountain pass, through an iron-barred gate, into a cavern, where he came face to face with the old second-in-command of the military he marched for, the forces, the volunteer forces of Ravenholm. He is met by this man who has aged significantly since the last time he saw him, more than what combat would have done, but something even more chromatically correct. And so Creed was then basically told that it's been 13 years since the explosion of the spire, the ruin of High Charity falling into the ocean, and that something has risen past it. This is where our new campaign begins. All the players will be playing a resistance member. They will be playing someone who has found themselves in the resistance for some reason or another, whether large or small. They will all be starting at a higher level, as they have shown their expertise in surviving the wastelands of the Vale, the Brink, for what it is called, no longer having truly a name, as it's been wiped clean. They have found themselves here at the Keeper's Tomb on the northeastern side of the map to essentially join in on the resistance cell that has taken shelter, as they believe that their first choice should be trying to reunite the splintered forces across this region. And so, at that point, we find ourselves among the stage, prepping ourselves for what may come next. The biggest thing we will find ourselves in this world is that there are a few mechanics that will be different from other campaigns that you may have seen me run, including Beyond the Veil. This is where my players, who are either in the chat or here in the voice chat with me, should be listening keenly. This campaign will be roleplay heavy. There will be points where the characters are expected to interact, because of the fact that you will all be fighting against a much larger force together, and so you will be expected to act as a team to try and survive. The world you will be fighting in is harsh and is not forgiving. So in this essence, there are a few things to keep in mind. One, firearms are prominent and used by most people in this world, as the time era, in sense here, is not that much of high fantasy, much like the Saturday game. This is closer to 1860s to the early 1900s, is the technological time point of this campaign. Firearms are prominent and are used by a majority of people. There are still those that use bows and ballistas and crossbows. Most of those have been magically enchanted or made stronger, either to be repeating or to fire farther or fire heavier bolts. The necessity is the mother of invention. In that turn, friendly fire is a thing. In other campaigns, I have ignored the idea of friendly fire from AoE spells and from firearms and bows and swords and such. That will not be the case here. This game is going to be difficult and you will have to think. So in case that anyone decides to get feisty and fire a large AoE spell in a small room where everyone stands, it will either take significant concentration from that person to make sure it doesn't hit their friends, or if it is one that cannot be concentrated, all of you will burst into flame in an instant. In the second point, ammunition, I may not be able to track it, but I expect there to be an honor system in the sense of what ammunition you have. If you have a gun, or guns, or bows, or something that fires projectiles, make sure that you have ammunition on your person, and that you keep track of how many shots you use. There will be points where you will find more, there will be points where you're able to purchase more from vendors, whether in resistance camps or otherwise, but try to follow the honor system as best as you can. I will not be holding your hand on that, I'm not going to be being very stringent, but just remember, it is part of the game. Lastly, there is a mechanic that I tried to bring up before, but I'm not sure if it got missed, so we're going to go over it here for the public to hear. For all of my casters, so sorcerers, druids, rangers, artificer, you're exempt, because you technically use physical materials for your spells, not actual magic. You just have spell names because it's easier to understand mechanically instead of giving you an entire list of remade stuff. So anyone who casts spells, you're going to need to pay close attention. There is a mechanic called magical instability in this world. Ever since the Godfall, magic has run rampant, much to the same tune as wild magic having its ups and downs. Here, every time you cast a spell, there's a chance of it going wrong. And not wrong from your perspective, but in the sense of the spell itself. So every time you go to cast something, if it is something that needs to be rolled to hit, you will roll to hit whatever you're aiming at. Once you do that, that is you declaring you are casting the magic, and you will roll a second d20 afterwards. This will be your spell die. This will essentially indicate what happens with that spell. The more magic you use, in this case, in layman's terms, the higher level spell you use, the tighter the range becomes for something bad not to happen. For example, this will not affect cantrips, so cantrips are safe. Level 1 spells, you cannot roll a 1 or a 20. Level 2s, you need to roll between a 19 and a 2. Level 3s, an 18 and a 3. Level 4s, a 17 and a 4. There will be opportunities in the world and in the game for you to lower the chances of the magical instability, but you'll have to find them first. If you happen to roll within those instability regions, if you roll something that is higher than 11, it can be anywhere from neutral to positive. If you roll below an 11, it can be from neutral to bad. These results will not be from your perspective, but from the perspective of a spell. In your minds, a fireball growing 3 times its size, thus affecting 3 times its normal area, to you is bad, depending on where you've placed it. To the spell, it is a wonderful time, as it is completing its objective with gusto. So I want you to keep that in mind. This is why in the world you will find wizards, sorcerers, druids, clerics, paladins, and such carrying weapons that allow them to hit at range. It is not uncommon to find a wizard who has studied magic for many, many years carrying a high-caliber sniper rifle and doing both jobs simultaneously. It is not uncommon to find a paladin carrying a shotgun as well as a greatsword, as the one thing that is consistent is the black powder in that shotgun versus the spells that he may call down from his deity to help him slay the enemies in front of him or keep himself safe. This magical instability does not affect character abilities, whether they are magically derived or not. So, using Rage, because Rexus is playing a barbarian, that will not be affected. If you have any abilities on your person from your race or from your class, they will not be affected. But anything that is a spell will be. And so that leads us into doing some basic world building and setup. This campaign, like I said before, will be difficult. Not too crazy, but difficult enough to keep you entertained as well as myself. The idea here is that, as I will explain in the intro in but a minute, for all and everyone to hear, a few things have occurred that had caused things to go awry. And so we will go over them, and then we will go into character intros to make sure that everyone is accounted for, and that as the other players arrive, we will pull them into the fray and make sure they have their time to introduce themselves as well. So, let's go into the world introduction. You find yourself outside of a ruined town. You remember the town as it once was. Buildings high into the air and others. Voices and laughter piling about the streets. Then everything changed 13 years ago, where the spire in the middle of the ocean that never was known to be there erupted in the flame of bright blue light, followed by what almost seemed a deafening silence fall upon the world, as if the world itself knew the calamity that had now been brought to the doorstep. Those next 13 years changed a lot between the landscape, the animals, and the understanding of what was to come. The public now knew the gods were real and they had arrived. Most of the towns, either too far north, too far south, or off of the western region, had not bared witness to the original godfall that was brought forth by a trick and a folly played on 3 humans that have not tread these lands before. Though some of these statues, these colossi that stand on the far western side of this continent, this region, lay shattered, there are some that still stand upright, representing different gods of shapes that you don't quite understand. You remember watching those statues every day, hoping for another one to fall. Until they never did. Until the fight finally came for your doorstep. The creatures that came down from the skies and across the ocean were those of mythos and stories. Things that had not been seen or heard of before in centuries, since the original sealing done 600 years ago with the exile of the humans. Though the stories of a handful of humans arriving back within the veil caused quite a stir and a number of questions to be brought forth on the origin of what had occurred, you believe that it is of non-consequence for what now lies ahead. Demons and monsters swung from the skies and from within the seas. Large, squid-like krakens rose up from the ocean depths and took chunks of the land with them. Large rocks would fall from the heavens and take out entire continents, much like what happened to Jericho Keep and St. Joanna on the western side of the region. The lands were razed, buildings were broken, and fortresses were fell, all in the name of a god that you never knew. The city that brought itself up into the ocean stood tall for what was left of it, the name of it ringing upon the ears of all of the citizens that now stood bare and watched as their world was stripped away. High Charity, the beacon of what had begun the War of Ashes. The Godfall brought many things. It brought heroes, it brought villains, and it brought death. Unfortunately, for most people that lived within the Vale during the Godfall, is that death followed swiftly, and it came with much force and high numbers. Heroes that stood could not stand alone. Villains that took advantage flocked to the gods that gave them promises of everything. And so it came down to what was left. A splinter, a fracture, a piece of a puzzle that no longer exists. You heard of tales of resistance members rising up from the ashes of the other cities, starting in Cauldry and Headthunder, moving their way to the Glass Keep, where the last sanctuary stood for as long as you can remember over the past 13 years, until finally the western region went silent. Even the camps around the broken spire where the original tower fell, where they believed the gods were first released before the Godfall happened, also fell silent. The ships and soldiers that held its grounds gone. And so you found yourself with your comrades in arms, joining up with the Splinter, following individuals that have shown great strength and age, following the proverb that an old man is to be feared if he's in a profession where men die young. You come across a cleric who calls himself a priest, or he seemed to be carrying the robes and the cloth of one that practices the faith. Those cloths have been torn and have been tossed to the ground. He says his name is Father Graydon, a large and imposing white-scaled dragonborn that carries a hammer borne with sigils that said he was there during the siege of Headthunder. He was there when those humans, those outcasts, helped free Headthunder from the clutches of the corrupted. You find Father Gregory, a man that is tall, lanky, and gray skin, wearing leather armor that is tan, dark, and bloodstained. His teeth sharpened at weird angles, the weapons he wields of age unknown. He himself also says that he was once a man of the cloth before he became a part of the Splinter, fighting against the prophets, the covenant, the group that oppressed the world around them, and when the Godfall came, he was able to rise and fulfill his purpose. He has found a way to suppress his vampiric needs, as the enemy now outnumbers him. Therefore, he can feast without worry. The Glass Keep stood for many weeks, for months, until it finally fell. Songs and stories of those soldiers floated out among everything. You heard the mayor of Cauldry, Mr. Braggins, seemed to fortify what he could, and they held their ground, taking refugees in from the southern and northern parts of the region and moving them through Bracken's Pass. until finally Cauldry fell beneath the weight of the Godfall. This continued over months and years. Heroes rising and falling, rising and falling. Until finally you find yourself among the ashes. You stand with a man who says that he was there when the spire erupted. He was there when everything went silent for once in this weary world. He says that his name is Watch Commander Rendif, a stout orc who took orders from one man only until that man was no more. And now he finds himself leading the splinter, the resistance, the bits and pieces that push back against the Godfall and find what survivors they can to bring forth a glimmer of hope into a world filled with darkness. Eventually, an event happened that forced you into the role of becoming that resistance. Whether it was killing your first monster, a loved one being hurt, a town gone in an instant. Whatever your reason, you found a boat, a ship, a carriage, an airship, and you traveled towards New Haven, where the rumors of the resistance have been regathered in an effort to reunite what is left. As you approach the town of New Haven, towards the cave of the Keeper's Tomb, the driver simply turns to you. It says, "Come. Come and smell the apocalypse." And that's where you spend the next few years, until you find yourself in the presence of a man of legend. And that's where we will halt the intro for now. So, that is the world intro for what we're looking at. What we're going to do now is character intros. Very simple, to the point. Basically, your name, if you stream. Use your full handle if you can, so people can find you. The name of your character, your race, and your class. And then we'll just kind of go down the list. And once everyone is accounted for and good to go, we will basically get into doing the start of the roleplay and getting everything kind of into brass tacks. Blackburn, I cannot hear you. You are muted.
Okay, bye.
There you go.
No, he left.
Oh, he left. Alright, he's coming back.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, he was on his phone, so maybe that's why.
Oh. Also, it's only
Might be
showing
flying or something.
5 of you. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to... It's only showing 5 of you, and there's more of you here that needs to be shown.
Also,
There we go.
I can still see the map from the finale. Just saying.
Yeah, this is the map you're going to be on.
Yeah.
No, like I see Father Fly, Fishy,
Oh, you
Cactus.
mean this? This battle map that I haven't unlocked and deleted yet? Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, fine. I can see it in case you didn't want me to. Fuck.
Yeah, I saw
mean,
that
that
earlier.
campaign's closed over, so it's fine.
That's fair.
Okay, well, are we doing character intros?
Yes. Now that I can see everyone in the Discord call, I know who's here. So, let's start with Jenna.
Hi, my name is Chaos Graham. I mean Jenna. I will be playing Aura, the Sea Elf Druid, and I do not stream.
Alright. Mr. Baird.
Give me 1 second. You can skip past me and I'll just come back
One.
because I still
We'll
gotta
skip past
do
you.
my streaming stuff.
Mr. Rage,
Can I shout people out in your channel or no?
can you shout out people? Sure. I don't think you're a mod. I can fix that.
Just everyone that is streaming as they talk. Oh, that might be a good idea. Okay, cool.
I got a free hand.
I don't want to. All right, so yeah, I am Rage, or on Twitch it is time_2Rage. So you can follow me on Twitch there if you want to get my perspective. Just call me Rage though, that everyone else does, or Jenna calls me an asshole. That works too. I will be playing Nameless, the Tabaxi Ranger. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got right now. Backstory will come later.
Dope. Alright, next we have Mr. Stealth Rage.
All right. My name is Stealth Rage 7. I am not streaming on Twitch because I'm not feeling too hot today. But Stealth Rage 7 is my handle. I typically go by Stealth. I am playing Nez, which is a changeling artificer. Trying to figure out how I can make good items and eventually become the best.
The best there ever
Like
was
no
at
one ever
making
was?
magic trinkets. God damn it, Rexus!
Yes.
You stole my bit, bastard.
This is
Mr.
why
Rexus.
Bandy says we share a brain cell, damn it.
It's true. And Mr. Rexus, introduce yourself, sir.
I am playing Okros, the Leonin barbarian, who is also a traveling chef. I do stream. I'm not currently live, but I will be going live here shortly once I get my shit together on Rexus at Twitch. And yeah, I have a bit of a backstory worked out, but not a huge amount. Basically, Bird's character and my own, Soren and Okros, are intertwined, though, in our backstories.
Very good. Very good.
Wait, we're doing backstories?
We're gonna just do reasons why you're here. Any kind of deep
Oh.
backstories you can work on and then just get to me, because it's gonna become important as you go along. But not tonight.
Well,
Tonight's just the reason you're here.
Reasons
my
why.
reason I'm here is because someone killed my parents and I'm gonna get revenge.
Fair enough. Mr. Bird, are you good? You ready?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm
owe
all good.
blood oath to
I'm-
Bird's character, which is why I'm here.
I am here. I am ready. I am sorry that I'm late. I got out of work late. It sucked ass. Don't want to talk about it.
Are
Anyways.
fine.
So I'm Bird Clock. You can call me Bird or Nick. A lot of people call me Nick. I am playing a rock gnome sorcerer named Warfin One Eye. Nickname is Sof, S-O-F. Stands for Shepherd of Fire. Don't want to talk about it. And I have a blood oath with Okros of the Ember Eye. We are spitballing the whole backstory between that, so stay tuned.
Yes.
Very good.
That's all I
I'll call you Matt from now on. Just Matt.
Also, sorry, I think I forgot the
we
double
make-
your name when I said it.
Do we make the Duke of Dampness introduce himself in the chat? Because he's still in there.
Well, if he wants to, he can. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is just give him his quick spitball in the limelight. So the two characters that are not here quite yet is Blackburn, who will be playing Creed, who is a Tiefling Paladin. He's currently troubleshooting his phone, mic, Discord shenanigans. So he will be here shortly, because he's at work, so he's trying to get that stuff sorted while also trying to get in here. He's working late as well. The other character that will be here is Uran? Whatever the hell his name. Doug, I need you in here so you can say your fucking name so I know the pronunciation. Anyway, it's a moist cactus is his handle that he goes by. He does stream. He is looking to stream more. He is pronounced. Is that how I pronounce your name? Is pronounced? Yuri. Okay. All right.
Yuri.
So his name is Yuri. He is a elf sorcerer rogue. The way he describes it is a red mage from Final Fantasy. So that's gonna be fun when that gets into play. Blackburn. Yes.
Kind of.
I was trying to do my
Kinda.
work. It sounds I'm at work, so.
Fair enough. Mr. Blackburn, if you'd like to introduce yourself and your character. Just very
Much
quick.
about the history of Leandros's expeditionary force, formerly Knight Sergeant with last chief at your service.
Very good. The Tiefling Paladin known as Creed. And so that will be our cast for this campaign. A very interesting mix and match of different people and different pulls from different areas. I am excited because I think this is going to be a very interesting mix, kind of going forward and really just kind of pushing forward the limits of what roleplay is going to look like and how we're going to do things and how we're going to do stuff. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. So, with that all put into play, let's talk about reasons why you're here. Not why you're here in this lobby specifically, but why your characters are here. All of you are Resistance members. You have either come from a different region or from a town close by, another cell, if you will, for whatever reason may irk you, to essentially join this larger force that is being put together by the current commander of the Splinter. So, starting with Aura, what is your reason? I know you said it before, but I want you to say it officially. Jenna, that's your cue.
I'm struggling. Give me a minute.
That's your
Can you hear
reason? I'm on the struggle bus. That's why Aura's
Hear
here.
me.
Brain go brrr.
No, I switched to my phone because I'm leaving my house and I'm trying not to have to leave
Yes.
completely.
Yeah. So give your quick reason, and then you can be good to dip if you need to go pick stuff up like you.
Just say, I have an ad playing, so you can give it 30
Okay.
seconds.
So my reason for being here is because when I was younger, my parents were murdered by someone who is part of the very force the resistance is fighting against. So I want revenge, and I'm gonna go get it.
Cool. All right. So that Jenna, if you need to dip, you are good. Oh, you can
I
pick stuff up,
don't-
and we'll be ready for next week.
Yeah, no, I don't need to dip. I'm just gonna figure out my headphone situation. I'll mute up while I'm doing that, and then I'll still be around listening. I just might not be talking.
Okay, that's also fine. All right. So then, Mr. Blackburn, if you want me to skip over you as your reasons are complicated, I kind of went over them in the intro. Because I know Creed has a very weird reason for being here.
Well, I was 13 years into the future, so evidently we lost the war.
Very
Might as well
good.
go ahead, check into the Andros and hope for the best.
Very good. All right. Mr. Rage playing Nameless. Your reason, sir.
I am on the struggle bus.
Very good. I mean, that's a fair reason. I'm on the struggle bus for reasons. That's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Mr. Stealth.
So my artificer is kind of aligned with artillery, so I was hoping to be able to make ranged weapons for us as best as possible.
Very
And
good.
hopefully I became the best.
Very good.
Around, no one's ever going to keep you down.
Very good. All right.
How did I not react to that? I'm a little disappointed.
All right. Then we have Mr. Okros, the Barbarian.
My character is here basically because he owes a blood oath to Warfin, and well, where he goes, Okros goes to make sure Warfin doesn't get killed.
Very good. So then in that case, Warfrin, you have this giant-ass barbarian following you around through a blood oath. Why are you here?
Well, fuck, put it all on the me.
Well, that's all we have so far with the thing, that I have a blood oath with you, so it's like, that's all the information I have to give.
Yeah, improv, here we go. I am here, or we are here, rather, because, I'm speaking for someone else. We are here because we are tired of everything that's happening, and we see, like, the resistance is, putting up a decent fight against the common enemy. And we decided to join in on the trend and kind of help out where we can, and quote unquote, air quotes here, I don't know if you can see me, not take all of the gold, loot, etc. to go with it. Character is definitely not a criminal in it for the money, unquote.
Of course. Definitely not here to loot everything I can get my hands on.
Orphan is definitely not a criminal.
I'm getting flashbacks of Saturday nights.
This guy's a little bit more put together. This one's a little bit more put together than Osh, I promise.
Very good.
I fucking hope so.
Oh, I promise
and then,
he is.
of course, the last person we have to give a reason is Mr. Cactus.
No, you say his full name.
Moist Cactus.
Thank
The
you.
Duke of Cacti. The Emperor of Moist Vegetables.
Yeah, just say that M word as many times as you want to. It's perfectly fine.
Ah, yes.
There you go. You said my name and therefore summoned me.
That's what it took to get you in here?
I just got back to the house like 5 minutes ago.
I was gonna beat the shit out of you. Be like, yeah, I've been waiting at my house. I'm waiting for you to say my name and my official title. Then I was gonna join. I will drive to your house and I will smack you into the dirt.
You were already on the verge of kicking his ass, so yeah, that probably would have pushed you over.
It would have put me over the edge. I would have been like, all right, guys, session is canceled. I'm
I'm
going to
committing to the bit.
unnamed state here.
I'm committing to the
back in
bit.
12 hours.
I refuse. I'm committing to the bit. I refuse until my proper title is recognized.
Fucking hate you. What's your reason for being here, Duke
I
of
just-
Desert Veggies?
The King of Desert Veggies' reason for being with the Resistance is that a combination of two things. First, all of our power comes from internal. It's just part of who we are, right? And he wants to see just how far that train goes, right? The best form of training is combat, and he's bored.
Fair enough.
That is an actual part. He is bored.
Fair enough. That's a good enough reason to go into a suicidal death watch situation with the Resistance to fight gods. I
Yep.
love it. I'm here for it.
Well, I guess since he said that, I'm on the struggle train now, not the bus.
The struggle train. I'm on the struggle train! So, with that, we're going to go into some actual D&D stuff. I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all are excited. Tempting.
I mean, I've been looking for a reason to say that we're riding on the techno train. Do not give it to me.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Fuck off, Rage.
So,
Love you.
let us begin the descent into Beyond Etheria, Ashes, Episode 0. Come and smell the apocalypse.
Shit. I'm just gonna listen because I can't roll dice.
That's fine. Just listen. I can roll it for you if
Yeah.
necessary, but just you're good.
Okay. Okay.
Probably not gonna be a lot of dice rolls, so you're fine.
Okay, good.
So, you all excluding Mr. Blackburn, wake up to hear a ruckus in one of the main atriums of the tomb that you sit in. The tomb is a light term to be put on it, as it is a large network of caverns that has been reoriented that go into the large northern pass towards Glacier Keep to essentially house a military force, or what you would call yourself as a resistance at this point. It is a spot that is not known and is not seen very easily by those outside, which makes it a good hiding place from the members of the Godfall. You remember that you were all brought here after you got to New Haven in a carriage with blacked out curtains, and were brought into the Keeper's Tomb and placed into specific bunk rooms to kind of just chill until something was brought forward that divided your attention. The few weeks you spent in the Keeper's Tomb listening to Watch Commander Bracken walking you through what has been going on have been not as exciting as you thought. A lot of it was patrols or training, armory checkouts, equipment handing outs, going through and rummaging through the reliquary that had magical items in it that could be useful to you to increase your survival chance, which you all have on your person now that you've chosen things that would fit your narrative best. And so, as before, you wake up to a ruckus in one of the northern atriums, an atrium that is not used, minus for a meeting spot, and possibly able to look out of the keyholes onto the landscape to the west. You hear Commander Bracken yelling to soldiers, to troopers, all running towards the atrium as a breach was detected. A gate was opened that has never been opened before. The fear of have been detected and having an assault coming in springs everyone to action, and you all follow swiftly behind, your sleepiness still overtaking you as you continue pushing forward. You all follow the stream of soldiers going to the rear atrium. You run past a large room that seems to open up into an area of strangely cut stones, with a very large carved stone laying on its side, darkened yet still translucent in the center. You run past it as you follow the soldiers till you get to the rear atrium, a large spherical room that has been cut by the dwarves and gnomes of the Resistance to fit either a large number of people for training or seminars for teaching. You find Commander Bracken and a number of soldiers aiming rifles and crossbows at a lone man, in this case a tiefling, in the center of the room. He wears a blue cloak with gold trim, attached to brass pauldrons with chains that go across his chest. His clothes beneath his armor seem to be almost of a teal green, with brown leather strappings and keeping everything together. On one arm is a large shield that seems to be made out of what looks to be plating of an animal that he had slain whoever's to say how long ago. In his side, where his sword holder would be, he instead has a large greatsword that seems to ebb and flow with orange colorations up and down the blade and hilt, pulsing with an unknown energy. The hood over his head doesn't hide his horns as they protrude proudly through the cloth, his skin a deep crimson, with his facial hair being a darker maroon. He stands with his hands up, his shield leaning against him, his sword still in its scabbard, as he stands looking at the people around him, torches lighting up the room, the snow still on his cloak and his shoulders, as it seems that he has wandered in from the northern region, from the Deathlands. You don't hear the conversation as commands are given and questions are asked and answered. Eventually, through all the excitement and you trying to see what's going on, the excitement dies down and the soldiers begin to holster weapons and walk away. You see in the center is a handful of the higher ranking members of the Resistance, along with Commander Bracken, standing near this individual that seems to have been an intruder. You see Bracken reach out his arm to shake the hand of the man in the center. Strange for the first idea being of an intruder, of being detected, and now him being welcomed with open arms into the Keeper's tomb. And you hear a name slip through the lips of the commander. A name that you have heard, but never truly read the stories of in much detail, as the tomes and texts that held that history were never fully put to print, as it was so recent, and then the catastrophe at High Charity happened. But you swear you hear Commander Bracken say the name Creed, son of Leandros. And it takes you a moment to process the name that has just slipped into the air, as you realize that the man standing in front of you is none other than the legendary commander of the original forces of Ravenholm, the forces that you followed, the forces that make up most of the Resistance, the forces that gave you a home and a shelter when the Godfall first came. That this is the man that supposedly died 13 years ago in the catastrophe at High Charity. What do you do?
Well, don't everybody speak at once.
Commander Bracken, sensing your presence, turns and sees all you standing there. The commanders around him all remove themselves from the room as they take a moment themselves to process the individual standing in front of them, and then go back to their duties to check on what they were doing or simply go back to their bunks. You see Bracken turn. His stone-cut eyes look at you and simply say, "Well, it's a lucky thing you were all here. I am trying to form a team to deal with some of these issues, and it seems that I happened across the leader of it. Quite a serendipitous event, coming back to find my own commander in the flesh, back from the dead in the middle of my atrium. Well, Watch Commander Creed, I would like you to meet your team. We here have, of course, Yuri, who is our resident explosives expert, so to say.
It's good to meet you.
Pleasure.
Are you Russian?
He's trying to stick to Castle in Spanish. Don't worry about it. He's trying.
No,
his best.
I see. I gave up. Actually, I couldn't do it.
Oh, okay. So you are just Russian now?
Да. Сразу
Okay.
очень парень не кошка.
Shut up. Anyway, we of course have Aura. She's our nature expert as well as survival.
How do you do?
Oh, man, has been dead for 13 years. I assume I'm rather well.
Then we have our tracker and sniper, Nameless, the Tabaxi.
I'm ready to shoot some things.
Of course you are.
I suppose that's the awful.
As long as I can put holes into my men.
He's a man
But I
of simple
hope you can avoid
pleasures.
bloodshed, but I will.
We then have the individual that will be most helpful to your cause, I would imagine, as the ability to make items on the fly has been extremely impertinent to the soldiers we've sent out, is Nez, our artificer.
Hey, hopefully I can help you out a lot. I can identify stuff as well as make stuff on the fly. I hope it'll be a good time working with you.
Never hurts to have someone out who knows what's happening.
I will warn you, Mr. Creed, is that he is a changeling. Do not let that ward you off of how he works. He is an interesting man, but he is worth every minute you spend with him, as he has made quite the arsenal for the soldiers in the Keeper's Tomb. And of course we have...
Hey, suppose I shouldn't have trouble to change things.
Yeah, I remember reading stories of your experience with the last barge you rode with, which should make you quite comfortable dealing with our dynamic duo. They have declared themselves the Spice Pirates. They have been bound at the hip since we found them. It's a large barbarian and a gnome, of all things. It's Okros and Warfrin.
Warfrin One Eye, at your service. And this is my my buddy Okros. Okros of the Ember Eye. He can speak for himself, though. He knows how to talk. Go ahead, Okros.
Indeed, little mouse, I do know how to speak. My name is Okros of the Ember Eye tribe, a traveling gourmand, if you will.
We are the Spice Pirates. Reason being is because he's a cook, a chef. My bad. He's a chef, and we like to secure and procure spices of all things. Hence the Spice Pirates.
Spices.
I suppose it tells it's more about selling. Unfortunately, the company I've had you told, but please tell me you don't eat people.
I did not catch that.
Nor
You
did
don't
I.
use people.
We don't know. I prefer more exotic ingredients. Thank you.
Ingredients of all rarities.
Well,
Better not be feline either.
That's
the
a little hurtful.
Gone. So,
Okros will simply look at you, look at himself, and look back at you and just raise an eyebrow. He's a giant cat person too.
He is a giant cat. Do not harm him. He's very friendly. Until he's not.
They have been very supplemental in keeping the morale of the groups up here. The food they've made has been quite delectable, and their ability to improvise rations and such, as well as guard certain areas, have been indispensable. Especially with Warfin's skill as a sorcerer and Okros' ability to lay the hammer down on those who misbehave or scouting parties has been perfect for our duties here. But
He also lays the hand down on a nice steak. You need something tenderized? This is your man. I'm just here to get the spices. Hence, because I'm lower to the ground, so it's like, I can see the spices a little better than his big ass, but it works. It works in its ways,
Aura looks at Warfin and raises her eyebrow and says, "Do you ever stop talking?"
I've been told that I talk too much, but I feel like it's just a gnome thing, It happens. We gnomes are known for our talking, of all things.
So I'm going to have to invest in some earplugs. Got it.
Well, do what you must. I'm just here to have fun. Get some spices. And some loot. But we don't talk too much about the other loot that I get.
Bracken raises his hand and goes, we can keep the discussions to a minimum as we have a guest to welcome, one that I did not expect to see ever again. Let us adjourn to the war room. You're all awake and you are all here. If you haven't, go and secure your gear. You will be
Never mind.
leaving within a few hours.
Sorry. I'm not muted. Whoops.
How dare. You will be leaving in a few hours, so if you have not, go and secure your gear and make sure everything is accounted for. Then I will bring our guest, Watch Commander Creed, to the war room where I would expect you all to meet us. And we will talk about the plan that I have for your team now that you have your 7th member. He will be indispensable to what's going forward, as he knows the terrain better than I. And so he excuses all of you to basically go and get yourselves geared up and check your stuff for an actual trek. And Bracken walks off with Creed towards the war room. That happens to be towards the southern side of the cavern system. silly Rexus. But after a few moments, after all of you secured your gear, you know where it is, you have everything accounted for. You all arrive to a large parchment map rolled out onto the table in front of Creed and Bracken, as he's essentially showing Creed the changes that have occurred to the landscape and what has happened before. As you all enter, you hear him going over a few different details that you would imagine are important. Yeah, Bird, that voice is beautiful, but it's gonna ruin your vocal cords. Drink lemon tea, my guy.
Yeah, lemon tea's gonna be my friend.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good.
It
You
is,
like
it
that
is
voice?
very good.
I am honest.
Yeah.
I'm saying this as a linguist. It's quite good.
I appreciate the gnome voice. I honestly think I can do it. I used to play gnomes in like other dragon chess. You know, dragon chess is a good game I like to play. But when I play video games, when I play video games or whatever, sorry, I don't know why I was talking in that voice. Like World of Warcraft, I was always a gnome. Like I played gnomes. I mained a gnome. That's what my fucking thing was. I can speak like a gnome. I love it.
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, it's good. It's good.
Until my voice is gone, of course.
Lemon tea is gonna be your friend, my dude. So,
Mhm.
you all
I
arrive.
will agree, it is good. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So you all arrive to the war room, and you hear Bracken explaining to Creed that Ravenholm firm, what they know, has gone silent. They're not sure if it's completely fallen. They know that they moved a majority of their forces out of Ravenholm and across the region, including Glacier's Keep and New Haven specifically. They have no idea of number of resistance cells across the rest of this region, how many are left, how many are still going, what the status is of invasion or such coming into the landscape. And he simply looks to Creed and goes, I know you're probably wondering about Leandros, as you've been gone for what felt for you, according a blink of an eye. To us, it's been over a decade.
There's the first question to ask is he dead?
We don't believe he's dead. We haven't heard any word come out of Ravenholm, but the last we knew is that they got hit relatively hard. He stood the ground with the generals that you had formed back into the line of the 4 factions of the Chaos Gods that they originally worshipped, still bearing their colors. They stood with him, and they fought to get the rest of us out. Don't quite know if he has truly fallen. Leandros was a hard man to kill, but he was changed after the catastrophe at High Charity. He was not the same man that we once looked up to. That event definitely seemed to jade him. He seemed sad. He didn't want us to see it. He hid to his quarters more often. He wasn't on the throne as often. The generals are the ones that were giving most of the orders to try and keep things going, disseminating ideas that we imagined came from his quarters, specifically with his writings. But when we did see him, he had a stone's gaze about him. It's almost as something was clawing at the back of his mind, but he could never let anyone truly know. I know that you've been gone. That catastrophe at High Charity took more than just you from us. When we secured the tower for your arrival and made sure you got up there, we held the grounds. We were unfortunately betrayed by the forces of Ares that had begun scouring the city. We expected as much. We're not sure if it was Ares himself who gave the order to clear the entire city of both us and what was left of the Prophet's military. But when their forces turned on us, we fought back as best we could. We lost a few of the Night Titans that were with us. We lost most of our vehicles, but we were able to secure a majority of the foot soldiers and lighter vehicles back to the boats and getting them off after the eruption of the tower. The wreckage thankfully crushed most of their forces, along with, unfortunately, a few of ours. Once we were away from High Charity, something changed. The lights grew darker around the sky. The world almost went silent, as if the sound itself had left the good graces of our ears. When we finally landed back on Westminster and made our way back to Ravenholm, it was as if we could feel the world had changed. The forces that we had at Dunmarn had retreated. They had pulled back. The glass keep that had our last bastion in it was still standing from the last time we saw. But Leandros was a changed man. I was, of course, forced to take on the mantle as High Watch Commander for the forces in the region. Not a duty I took lightly after you had led us for so long through such dire straits. But I tried to do what was good for the soldiers, for the region, for our home. But then it came back. Once we met up with Leandros at Ravenholm, and we got everyone safe, it came to our attention that something had changed. We thought the prophets were dead, that we had won. The tower erupting into a ball of blue lightning gave us hope that maybe even if you fell, that everything we fought for wasn't for nothing. Turns out not to be the case. Whoever this Zeus is came down like a bolt of lightning. He landed in the center of the courtyard of Ravenholm and asked to speak to Leandros directly. He told Leandros himself that he killed you with his own hands. That was the day I think Leandros broke. You could see the anger in his eyes that were once caring and full of joy, even for the work he did. He restrained himself to the best of his ability. But then that God, that falsehood, told us that the prophet still lived, that he had made him something new, a herald, and had begun making forces out of those that surrendered or those that were taken prisoner, turning them into soldiers, faceless, they call them. They speak in garbled tones, their faces shrouded. They carry weapons that are unknown to us. We strike one down and 3 more rise. It is, unfortunately, a battle that we could not win. And at every point we had to pull back and save who we could, as we took casualties with great care to make sure that we didn't lose what we had left. They did not. They would throw waves of these faceless at us until we ran out of ammunition or they broke our lines. And that's why we're here. They eventually breached Ravenholm in force after the meeting with this Zeus character. We know Leandros and the generals and the elite forces stood their ground. But once we left, we haven't heard anything since. Which, as much as it pains me, is where we must send you first.
There is going to be some back home, and we should be the first thing. Is there an option to find what happened to Leandros? And no, I might not hold the same rank I once did. I would issue all the authority I had at my disposal. I would have said do that first, anyways.
We will be...
I don't know what happened with the house, but please. Please.
We will be sending you to Glacier Keep first to secure what's left of that, if anything. Going through the Deathlands will be treacherous, but it shouldn't be anything that is unheard of from you and the team that we've assembled, of those that have volunteered their expertise and their strength to this endeavor. Once you find your way to Glacier Keep, you need to find your way into Ravenholm. See about finding if anyone is truly left alive. And if they are, to either bring them back or come back and tell us that it's truly gone. I apologize for sending you all, as he motions to all of you, on such a dour assignment for the first time leaving the tomb on official business. But if there's a chance Leandros is alive, we need him. And I cannot think of a better team to send than some of our most experienced specialists and the Night Watch commander himself.
I heard there's some nice spices up by Glacier Keep. It's pretty much, it's because of the cold weather. Like, the cold weather, it allows you to, like, I don't know. The spices grow pretty well in cold weather. I don't know what spices exactly, I can't remember. There's a lot of spices that I know. But I do know for sure that some good spices are grown in the cold. And I'm excited.
Hey.
So, you got me.
Enough with the spices. We're going to Deathlands and you're worried about spices?
If you cannot hold your tongue, honestly, I shall find whatever rare species within these caves and burn them in front of you.
Look on the bright side.
You cannot move.
I'm motivated.
Is
I'm motivated to get to the spices. And anything that's in our way, I will try to stop you. Regardless of what it is. I want those spices. Anything that stands in my way will be eliminated, and I will get to those spices.
It's fine. You
I'll
Spices?
the last person
Great.
faked my death for 13 years. If you wouldn't mind continuing the briefing.
Spices. Spices? I'm willing to help, obviously. But spices up there, they go pretty well.
Alright, so real quick, as you've all been discussing this, thank you, Alex, for the raid. Welcome, raiders. You are in the premiere episode of Beyond Etheria Ashes. We are currently doing heavy roleplay and such for this campaign. Welcome in everyone to this interesting adventure of what is unfolding in front of us. So, hang on to dear life. We will be taking a break in a few minutes here to ask questions and to let everyone kind of take a bio, get water, etc. And you guys will be able to ask questions about the campaign or what's going on. You can also spend bits that are at the bottom of the screen here to give fate points and dreads or activate curses on the party. Fate points can be used by the party to do rerolls on failed saves. or anything else that they are rolling for. Dreads are the same, but for me, so I can force disadvantage on a player roll or force them to reroll a success to possibly force it into a failure. And of course, the curses are fun. It's a D100 table full of nonsense, and I'm happy for it. But thank you all for being here, and I hope you enjoy the ride.
So we've discovered all Warfin wants is his spices. How do you feel about this? Everyone else? Okros? Your little buddy wants spices.
Of course he does. How else am I supposed to cook?
I don't know, the way people usually, like, we usually do with, like, other stuff. Not everything has to be spice. Like,
See, you
I
do
live
not
on,
have much of a palate.
I'm from the sea. I live on seaweed, fish, and all those other aquatic things. We don't use spices.
I feel like you've
So,
never had
I don't get it.
Apparently, she's never had fish and chips made by Okros, because he makes the best fish and chips in all of Etheria.
You're right, because I never wanted to come up on land until I had no choice. Now did I?
Well, guess you're not gonna have fish and chips then.
Considering that I'm used to eating fish, I like him cook. I don't know. All I know is that I want to be here for one reason and one reason only, and you guys are just added on to.
We're also here for the same reason, but spices are part of the reason, because if we aren't fed, we can't fight. If we can't fight, what are we here for?
Revenge.
The small one does have a point. You know, food is very important.
Food is important, but I'm here for revenge. But you're right, we do need to eat. You're correct. I'll
And
give you
if-
that.
I can't speak for the rest of you all, but if I'm forced to eat something, I would very much appreciate it. It does not taste like Shrek. So
I can agree with you on that one.
Fine,
I
fine,
appreciate
you win.
I appreciate having a cook at least.
You win. You win, whatever. I'll just sit here and listen.
Thank you.
It is what it is. I don't care anymore.
Maybe our role is a little more important than you think. You should just be a little more self-conscious and, like, kind of like be a little nice. Because we're
I'm
here
not saying
to make
you're
sure you're
not-
fed.
Little friend, please do not tell women to be nice. Don't from me to you, do not tell women to be nice. That gets you stabbed. I don't know
Oh,
what
now
kind
it's
of
'cause I'm
women
like-
you know,
Now it's
but
because I'm
Now
a woman.
you're bringing gender into it. What does this have to do with anything?
do not
Oh, Yuri. Oh, Yuri.
don't tell her to be not emotional.
Don't out her because she's a woman. That's your issue. My issue is me, telling her not to be nice or to be nice. Your issue is
I'm being nice. I just don't understand spices. My apologies.
spices and ingredients are what make a meal. They help things come together. It's like, would you rather eat porridge, or would you rather have
What's porridge?
You don't know what
hear
I don't know
porridge is?
what
a thump as you see Bracken swing his fist against the table, shaking
Oh.
the cups and instruments that are on it as he looks to all of you and goes, I understand that you all came here from different paths and have differing opinions on many things that are apparently very important to the survival of all of us in the midst of the Godfall. You can see a angry smile coming across his face. I need you, all of you, the 7 of you, to act like the mercenaries that I know you are. To do this job so that we don't die a fiery death. I know the reason you are all here, whether it's to find spices to trade, to cook, to find ingredients, to make items to become the best, to put holes in the enemies of the people in front of you and to save those that you can't save, or to take vengeance on something, or just to gather more power through fighting through combat, or in Creed's case to find out where the fuck he's been the past 13 years. And I understand that you all will butt heads and have issues going forward, and that is to be expected from a team that has been formed out of what we have left of the races that live on this region. So, if we can all focus on the fact that you are being sent out on your first assignment to an area that we have no idea what is waiting for you, and lords forbid what may truly be waiting for you if Leandros is truly gone. So, can I ask you all to focus for one moment?
Speaking of mercenaries, my friend,
Pistachio, quickly.
you are paying. You are paying us.
I'm going to be completely muted. I am reaching no service.
Okay. Say again, Cactus.
Speaking of mercenaries, you are paying us, yes. My sword does not come cheap.
I am paying you with what we have left. If you complete the missions in front of you, not only will you not die, you will get food, shelter, pay, and the weaponry and armor you require to finish your job. But may I remind you
Good enough for me.
that if you don't do this, there will be nothing, as I've seen the entire region in front of me burn to ash. So you can see that I am a little bit tense of the fact that I have people breathing down my neck asking for pay when we are literally fighting the gods.
You sound like you need a deviled dragon egg. I know Okros makes a beautiful deviled dragon egg. He has the best recipe. If only we can collect spices, I'll make sure you get one. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful, Warfin. Now, I'm going to ask all of you once. Is all of your gear accounted for? Are you ready to leave?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Okros, I'm accounted for.
Да. Pode me привет.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Very, very good. As you can see, Bracken is grabbing the bridge of his nose, as you can see him just kind of trying to process everything that's been going on. And he goes, the last thing I need to show all of you is the cradle. It is the room you passed on the way to the atrium when Creed arrived. I would like to show you this room. That is the reason we're still here. And once that's done, you're going to go on your mission. A simple one. A reconnaissance mission. You're going to go scout Glacier Keep and then possibly scout and infiltrate Ravenholm. So, if you would follow me, please. And he stands up and starts walking out of the room towards that large room you passed that had the strangely cut stones in it.
As a side note, if anyone's wondering, your boy, I posted Yuri's drip.
Very good.
I'm gonna pop out of here actually before it keeps sending me in and out of the call. So I will see you next Friday, and I will catch up then.
We'll see you, Jenna.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. The sea druid is leaving.
So he brings you to the room, and again you see the strange cut stones in a circle, with the larger cut stone that seems oddly translucent, almost if it's filled with a fog, laying on its side, fragments of it, in smoothed and shaped forms, laying on the ground. He goes, this is the cradle. We don't know what it is, what it does, why it's here. All we know is that 13 years ago, it turned on. Apparently a bunch of people were seen going into this cave, specifically a Goliath, some weird bird thing, 2 different elves, a dwarf, and a human without a disguise just waltzed into this tomb where apparently there was light and shit coming out of it.
Oh,
And
wait a minute.
now
Did you say one of them is a human? Did I miss that part?
it was, we don't understand it either. It was just from reports from those years ago, from the people who were stationed in New Haven where they saw it happen, was that it was a human in what looked to be pirate garb, who seemed to be dragged around by the Goliath a lot. We don't know. We don't understand it. We don't know why they were there. The fact that there was just a full-blown human with them was strange, but they just walked into the tomb. And then a few hours later, the light disappeared. We sent in scouts to go check it out, and we found this. A stone on its side filled with what looks to be fog. But for some reason, this object veils this tomb from the prying eyes of whatever we're fighting. We don't know how, we don't know why. All we know is we saw a beam of light fire out of the cave. Then we went to go check it, and no one was here. Just the rock.
My mom told me a story about something similar to that. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but I heard there was definitely a human. And he looked like a pirate. That's all I can remember from the story. She was drunk most of the time. What happens?
Yes, Warfren, that is interesting. But yes,
Yeah.
that's the cradle. We've been having sorcerers and wizards and such study the stone, trying to figure out its purpose. It just doesn't seem to have anything that we can tell. No magic, no energy, no presence. Touching it proves nothing. It just feels warm, like it's been baking in the sun, though it's inside of a cave that is closed. So it's a strange object. We're not sure its purpose, but it's here. But we are protecting it with everything we have. If it's the one advantage we have, we're planning on keeping it. Past
Looks like
that
it's built by the
point,
dwarves.
we had our dwarf study it, and they couldn't understand it either.
They're always up
we
to no good.
We found notes from this one dwarf that was here. We imagined it was the one that was here before the light erupted. His handwriting was iffy, and he just seemed to write in a very strange language, a lot of apostrophes and what seemed to be a drawl or a rolling of R's. His name was Coverall, Cole, Koval, something. The scratch was destroyed for what it's worth. And even his writings lent us no intelligence to what this stone is, as he himself also didn't know. So, that is why we protect it. It's an advantage. It will also be the way to find you home. And he hands you all a bracelet. The bracelet has what looks to be a small piece of crystal in the top of it that looks very much like the stone that sits on the floor. We were able to cut these small pieces out and place them into these bracelets. They act as a compass of sorts, essentially leading you back to here. So if you're ever lost in the world and you don't know where to go exactly, you can find your way back. The world has changed outside these caverns. A lot of the landmarks have disappeared. So this may be your best option to navigate your way back. And with that, he ushers you towards the atrium where you found Creed. The gate door swinging freely, allowing you all to simply step through it into the snow-capped mountainscape known as the Deathlands, knowing that following the path and going northwest, based off the compass you have now strapped to your wrist, you will find Glacier Keep, or what's left of it. And so with this, we're going to take a quick break. So if you need water or to take a bio break, now is the time.
Water break is going to be my best friend.
Yes. Yes, it will.
The beauty of having a wireless headset is I already did it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm connected to my computer at the moment.
Nice.
Big shame.
So
So
Rexus. Rexus, let's hear your lion voice.
All right, give me a second. Let me get it activated.
While Rex is doing that, thank you, Carson, for coming in the 69 bits. I know I am hot, thank you. That's why I'm wearing the good luck jacket for the first session.
You're like a 6 out of 10, dog.
Oh, I would fucking crump you.
Give him at least a 7. Damn, it's his good luck jacket.
DM's clearly like 30 out of 10. Come on, bro.
Why, thank you.
You're
Thank you,
fine.
Blackburn.
Look, I'm expecting 2 of us to make it to the end of this campaign with our original characters, okay? Like, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I'm expecting like 2 of us to walk away.
As long as Warfin lives. It's a good character.
This only cares for
Oh my God.
ingredients.
Oh my god.
That's dope. That's very
That's pretty dope.
It's the complete opposite of me. He's like
I'm
so
debating.
deep, mine's so high.
I love that contrast, by the way. I'm debating as to whether or not I should make Russian be a separate language, like Gnomish or something.
Gnomish? Do you speak Gnomish? Hell yeah.
Well, no. It's
No,
just
in
an
the
example.
sense of the language
Oh.
he speaks is going to be like an actual language that
Gotcha.
people may or may not know.
Subsect of another language. I don't know, what's the Soviet equivalent of D&D?
Soviet
So-
equivalent.
They're so much like other TTRPGs.
It's gangs and gulags.
Oh no.
gangs and gulags.
Oh,
So
no.
much like most TTRPGs, is that everyone speaks Common, which is essentially a de facto language that's spread across the region that makes communication easy. Much to the same parallel of 40k, where you have High and Low Gothic, that's basically spoken by most of the human Imperium. And then, of course, you have the other languages that are spoken by the other factions. So, Common is essentially its own language. So, if you have a language your character speaks much to the kin of Russian, you can make a funny name for it. And that can be a language you speak that if you come across a region that has those symbols, has that caricature, that you would understand it. And that's just the way it kind of rolls down. Because you can be from a village that made its own dialect of Common, and that's kind of the way that would play out. Where other
And
people
before
could
I make-
understand you, but it would take time.
And before I make Elvish into fucking Russian.
That's terrifying, and also I hate you.
Why?
Bunch
Beautiful
of elves walking around speaking Cyrillic, just fucking
So, okay,
chugging down
one of
vodka.
One of my favorite things about Russian, right? This is probably my favorite thing about the language, honestly, that I learned is that. So, when you say, like in English, that you'd like to eat something, you say, "I would like to eat an apple," right? In Russian, it's literally translated as "I want apple."
Yeah, it's very short and sweet language.
It is very short, very sweet, very blunt. I want apple. There's no like
Romance in
flower.
Russian. You
There's
meet now.
Yeah, there's no like flower. Well, that's why you see a bunch of accent when you hear like Russian people speaking English. They're very simple. We go store. Let's go, because that's Russian.
That's the translation.
Yeah, fair.
Like, it's very blunt. Whereas like with Japanese, for example, right? For their sentence structure, the first I would say this store is small. For Japanese, chisai desu, right? It basically is reversed. as small
Yeah,
stores.
they're like Yoda.
Yeah. So like their sentence structure is just it's weird but beautiful.
Sorry, I oversimplify things. My bad.
No, I
You're right.
I
though.
tend to overcomplicate things. So it's
No,
like it's
you
you're good.
overcomplicate things. No, never.
You're a good fool
What
to me.
What are your 3 titles again that you have for your stream base?
What do you mean?
It's not like yes, it is me, a moist cactus. It's like no, I am the Duke of Moisture, the Emperor of
No,
Desert
you're
Veggies.
fucking it up. You're fucking it
the
up. You're
ruler
fucking it up.
of all
Please
that
stop.
is the Deathly One.
Oh,
Please, you're fucking it up.
Oh, no.
I am the Duke of Dampness, the King of Desert Veggies, the Prince of Precipitation, the Monarch of Moisture.
Yeah, like I said, overcomplicate things. You no, never.
He almost made him mess it up himself.
Yeah,
Yeah, you fucked it up so bad it like infected me through the screen.
good. You fucking red blue main.
Red blue mane, you fucked up.
That's all I imagine. That is you to a T. You are Magnus the Red. You are a red blue player if you played Magic. You overcomplicate things
No,
to such an
so
extent
my-
you can get flipped by a single action.
I do actually play Magic. Do you know what my deck colors actually wear?
Sure.
White and red.
So you're worse.
Oh.
You're a control aggression player. Okay.
I'm black and red.
I will take everything from you and leave you with nothing.
I'm a red blue green on my current main.
You
And
trichromes.
I am no, it gets worse. I have a black white that I play. That's Angels and Demons, and then I have a quad, which is red blue, white black. That is all artifacts.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's an
Fucking-
artifact commander
dear.
deck. Fight me.
Fucking, I did a Galisa deck. That was mine.
You're not making a better case for yourself.
I did, dude. I pulled. I was so lucky, man. I pulled that card, and like I had lost my shit when I pulled that card out of that pack. I was like, "Yep, I'm building a deck around this bitch."
Listen,
Um,
all I can
I'm
say
sorry,
is
I get
the
2
worst
attack
one
phases,
out of
kiss
all
my
of us
ass.
here. The worst one out of all of us here. She's not here. She's in the chat. She's listening. It's Carson.
Sliver
She
deck.
plays no. She wants to build a sliver deck with the new slivers coming out, but that's not the deck she plays. She has one commander deck. She has 2, but she has one that she built and she plays as her main every time. It is a pentacolor all dragons deck.
You're an asshole.
It is literally one of the worst decks I've had the pleasure of fighting because it is a pentacolor mana ramp dragon deck.
Do you remember I don't know how long you've played Magic. Do you remember the old school tomato decks?
Yes.
The Violent Ultimatum, Peaceful Ultimatum, and what was it? Yeah, what was the third one? Anyway, buddy of mine played a mana ramp tomato deck.
Let me
You had
tell you,
on average you had 3 turns because you didn't have a single monster in the deck, right?
it was just
on
all
average-
spells. Yeah.
On average, you had not even that. It was you have 3 turns because he's got a whole bunch of cards to let him go get shit out of his deck. Right? So it's like you have 3 turns to do 20 damage to him before he nukes the game. Like it's
Oh,
that
so he was
simple.
playing standard. He can jump off a cliff. I'm playing EDH over here. I'm playing the long con.
Like you got 3 turns. Can you do 20 damage in 3 turns? If not, I'm gonna nuke the whole game. I'm gonna
Listen,
use
I've had
my
enough
ultimate.
of that playing JRPGs. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I just got back to the conversation. I honestly say I hate Commander.
Well, shut up. Anyway.
I absolutely hate it.
I mean, that's fair. I have a bunch of dual colors that I do for standard. That's a lot of fun if I want a fast game. But I want to tell you about Carson's deck and the pain it brings me. She has every single one of her creatures is a dragon and flies. If it doesn't fly, when you kill it, it deals damage to non-flying. She has 3 board wipes and 2 win condition cards. And her commander is the Ur-Dragon. So she gets to free play dragons if he's on the board in swings. And guess what is the majority of her deck? Dragon monsters. And they all boost each other because, of course. And she has enchantments that let her deal free damage depending on the number of dragons she has on the board. And because she has a pentacolor, she has an artifact dragon that after 5 spells are cast, she can get 10 mana for free that is 2 of every color. And her favorite card that she has in the deck that she hopes for every time she plays is Door to Nothingness. Because guess what it takes to activate Door to Nothingness? 2 of every color. So she's hit me with that wombo combo before where she's put up the artifact dragon, she's gotten spells off and creatures off, and then has played Door to Nothingness, and then with her floating, casted it and just blew me the fuck out of the water in like turn 7. And I had like multiple double-digit monsters on the field, like defending, and I was just like, well, of course, why not?
Dragon go boom, then door open black hole.
Yeah,
Great.
basically.
My favorite, I almost punched my buddy in the face because we were playing this game and we had $100 on the line, and I didn't know he bought this fucking card. Right? It's one of the tomatoes. It's called Etheria Ultimatum, right? And what it does is return. He was using a black deck that centered around putting shit into his graveyard, right?
Oh yeah.
Etheria Ultimatum: return any number of permanents from with different names from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Not tapped. Not you can summon them. It's just straight onto the field.
So he had a mill Gravekeeper deck with the tomato.
Yep, with the tomato. And I'm like, I almost punched him in the face because like he had chucked a solid half of his fucking deck into the graveyard at this point, and then just went.
Yeah, that's about as bad as my buddy's Whales deck. It's a mono blue commander deck that's filled with whales, krakens, and otherwise. His biggest thing he likes to do is he board locks you, where he turns the board state into an ocean, and if you don't have Island Walk or flying, you can't do shit.
Oh god.
And so now he can just slap you with blue whales and krakens for funsies.
I would find blue creatures that are like 1/1s just to fucking make it all the more annoying. Like if you're gonna be a dick and be annoying with it, go the
needs
full
to
way.
have Island Walk. That's the specific thing. It needs to have Island Walk as a modifier, otherwise you still can't do jack. So it's like very specific niche blue creatures, and it's like I hate you so fucking much right now. Just the pain is real.
I was like, who the hell would have these cards prepared?
Dice thrown
That's
at
what
you
he.
before.
That's what he expects. He doesn't want you
done
to have
that.
him prepared.
I ran a mono white angel deck. I've done that.
Yeah, I had a green white Ajani Nissa deck, Planeswalkers, and so with the Ajani I had, I think it was, I don't know if it was Gold Domain or what it was, but it was the one where it's like, put a 1/1 creature on, or put a 1/1 counter on this creature for like, you know, the plus, and then its minus was -X, and it was add X amount of 1/1 or X amount of 1/1 counters to a creature per life you have, and then my Nissa was each turn I'd get 1 health, and then her ultimate spell was like get X amount of health where you're on X amount of health where health or it was something along the lines of like X amount of health based on the amount of 1/1 counters you have. So I was like, I had like 15 1/1 counters at this point. I did a Ajani's ultimate, so I got like, you know, all of the 1/1 counters, and then I turned around and then I did her ultimate, so I got like all the health, or no, I did hers first, so I got all the health, and then I did Ajani's to put 1/1s, and then the some of the creatures I had on the battlefield were all lifelink, so I hit them, I get all the health back, and then I do like a fucking big swing, and I hit him for like 150 damage straight on, and I had dice chucked at me, like a whole handful of dice.
You deserved it.
Could you imagine, like, obviously standard 20 health, whatever, fucking imagine getting hit by 150 damage. I would be pissed. I'd
Yeah.
be so
Indeed.
pissed. Handful of dice, straight to the head.
Right to the dome piece.
Right to the, they all hit me in the head. Not a single one missed.
Like I said, you deserved it.
Deserved.
Oh my god! I just hopped out of one of my streamers that I watch. Right, I felt bad because I'm watching her little thing, and she's playing a copyrighted song in the background, and I feel really bad for her.
Muted.
No, uh-oh.
I've had that happen a couple of times. I used to do a Sound Sunday thing where like every Sunday I just like listen to music and take requests and stuff like that. There's so many fucking copyrighted songs that like half my things were usually just muted. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
So she's playing the ending song for Oshinoko,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is very heavily copywritten because it's a fucking banger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just listening. I'm watching this going, please, please, please. And it's the whole fucking song. So just the whole. I'm like, you are so demonetized.
Oh yeah. I like a lot of like not like a crap ton of songs, but there's like pieces in some of mine. I think I have them saved where it's like completely muted because it's like Fall Out Boy is muted, and it's like this one's
I
copyrighted,
need
this
to
one's
teach
got.
you
I'm like,
guys
bro,
how to split your audio off your VODs. Like, damn.
I will say I
Even
did
I know how
learn
to
that
do
you
that.
can. I did learn that you can actually straight up run copyright music. The thing is that you just have to disable.
odds.
Yeah, you just have to disable the audio being pulled to the VOD, so people in the VOD won't get the music, but people listening live do.
Mm.
Well, no, you can even do the VOD. You can run it.
Yeah,
through
you
the
just turn
VOD.
VODs off.
No. You just all you have to do is disable. You can disable bits, disable subscriptions, any kind of monetization, anything you can make money off of. Disable it. Then you can run it because you're not
so
making.
basically, you have to go back to not being affiliate.
Yeah,
Lame.
but that does it. That because you're not making money off of the copywritten thing, so you can't
Right.
get a copyright.
Fair.
So, I think everyone has returned, yes?
I think so.
Is everyone back
I'm
from
Heather.
doing a pee?
Oh,
Hmm.
hang on, I need to go get more coffee.
Oh,
You got
jeez.
4 fade points already and 1 dread. 4 fates and a dread already. Damn.
All right, I spent the entire time we were talking to you guys and cuddling with this dog. Okay.
You fucking jackass. Go fix
I
yourself.
spent the entire time having chat vote on what my voice should be for my character, and it's terrible.
What are you playing?
Is
I
it,
forgot.
is it
Oh,
all
are you
cringe?
going to use voice changer too?
Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit.
This is the voice, and I hate it so much. But
You're
that's
playing
I
okay.
love it. I love
Tabaxi
it so
Ranger.
much. No, it's so
I-
good though.
this is
I hate to
Christ,
say
It's
it.
like
I
the
hate to
little
say it.
kitten version of me.
You sound like
Look here, big guy. You keep talking right on your shoulder, and I'll clean myself up there.
you sound like you had a fucking pocket protector in high school.
Bro, don't have a pocket
Orphan.
protector,
Do
man.
I have a little brother I didn't know of?
You guys in the damn voice
What's
mod.
funny is that
Let's not go into if I'm your brother or not. I don't think we really want to go down that road. There's some things that my parents did that you don't want to know about. Let's just not go there.
what's funnier
Incest is
is
in
the
fact
size
modern.
comparison I'm imagining is we have a 6'8" Tabaxi barbarian essentially, and then we have a 4 foot like 4. I think Rage is
Yeah.
what you decide on.
Yeah,
A
4'4".
4'4" Tabaxi Ranger who's built completely different, and it's just like, listen, big guy, I'll crump your
bumpers.
shit.
Like,
You gotta remember, I have a sniper rifle on my back too. That's like twice the size of me. So
Oh god,
I
I
talk
love
big
it.
shit for a little guy.
So does Warfin. I gotta save my voice though for when I'm actually speaking.
When you have to lay prone and dig your claws in so you don't get blown back by the fucking.
I was thinking about like, do I want a 50 cal ever? I won't be able to shoot more than once. I'll
You'll
be
have to
30
be
feet.
prone. You'll have
Yeah.
to
It's
just
specifically
much
go
fun
and take an
the second
action.
time around.
Yeah. You'll have to hope you kill it in the first shot because you'll be prone and like digging yourself in.
Shit,
You
shit,
have-
shit, shit.
You have to sit in a shooter's bajoran on Akro's chest to fire it more than once.
Yeah.
I hold a gun, he holds me.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
He holds you like a smaller gun.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you have human turret. I approve.
Could you
I'm
imagine?
just imagining fucking Rocket. Rocket with a 50
You're
cal.
basically Rocket with a
That's
sniper
basically
rifle.
me, yeah.
Oh, this is great. I'm loving this.
Could you
party
imagine
comp.
if Warfin like carried that for one time, just shot it once?
Oh,
I'd be in
no.
the next like dimension.
If you don't become a sorcerer artillery gun as who you are, because guess who also played a Norm sorcerer in one of his old campaigns? I did. And one of the first things I did, my buddy James, was playing a character much like Okros, which is hilarious because that was the dynamic between me and him. I was the short, stout, and smart-ass motherfucker that would fucking fire you into the goddamn sun with the energy that I could pack out of myself. And so I was feisty and had a hair trigger, and he had to hold me back a lot. And eventually we were like, oh hey, we found these weird crystals that resonate magic. I was like, cool, I'm going to turn myself into a gun. And so we made a harness he could carry that had a bunch of crystals in the muzzle of it. I would jump into, and he would carry it and aim it at people, and I could amplify my spells and fire shit at people. And then it became a fucking gnome cannon, and that was our tag team move.
Yeah, we're fair tour. We're going with the fair tour kind of gameplay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling, as you guys were doing more of a Ferritor angle.
I fucking love Territor. I'm so
And-
sad they were only in the one game.
Yeah, and Okros is an exceptionally tall.
I'm exceptionally short.
Yeah, you're
Like-
at the very upper limits of medium, and he's at the lower limits of medium.
Yeah,
Or are you
'cause,
small?
when I was looking it up,
I think I'm considered
Um,
small.
Very
Leonin
good.
can be slightly above 7 feet tall at
Mhm.
the upper limit, so I was like 7'3".
There you go.
I'm 3'10".
7 foot's a guideline, so you can be like, ah, yes, if it's like over, like if I say it's a large creature, like, oh, it's over 7 feet tall. Like it's like but like in
Like an
RPG,
8
it's
or
like-
9 or
Yeah.
yeah.
But so you have a 3-foot gnome and a 7-foot. I love it so fucking much.
You
Anyway,
could fit a body between us.
Yeah.
That's called compensating for something. Just lay it out there.
so we are gonna swing back into it. We have a bit to crump through. So, you have all seen the cradle, you've met Commander Bracken, you've met some other soldiers, and you've met Creed, which is the most important person that you could meet at this point in time. As this living legend standing in front of you has you asking a lot of questions. But for the most part, you are ready to go on your first assignment, to make your way towards Glacier Keep. So you are all essentially let out to where you need to go and find yourself outside the main gate, looking towards the snow-capped mountain peaks that would lead you towards Glacier Keep. This is what I wanted. Silly computer, give me the thing that I wish for.
Technical difficulties, folks. Just
No,
Be
not
2 minutes.
technical difficulties, more of the sheet being like, oh, hey, you clicked on this. I'm like, no, I didn't. It's like, yeah, you did. I'm like,
It's honestly a user error. I think it's a user error.
Oh, user.
look. It sounds like an
Thank you.
ID10 error.
How about you go get the rotor wash for me there, nameless?
I mean, it could be a picnic issue.
What is that?
Block you in the
Picnic?
side of the head.
I mean, you could try. I'm pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what. Never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Y'all are ridiculous. So,
And you love every moment of it.
Yes, I am here. I am running this other game. You know, I asked for it. I'm here for it. Let's go.
No, we're not running.
I am here to make things weird and/or fun. Let's make it happen, Captain.
I thought it was Cactus's job.
He does help out with most of
What
it.
is my job?
To
Making
give
things
me
weirder.
Ashita.
I can do that. I got you. Did I make it them feet?
Please stop.
Please get away from me. Your feet smell.
If you're going to be using a Russian accent in this entire campaign, you don't at least once say "I am the machine." I am never be your fucking friend again.
Dude,
Just saying.
that'd be so funny.
I will find a point.
Please
I am
do.
the machine.
I
All
am
you
the
have to do
machine.
is find a turret. Just get on a 50 cal turret, start letting loose, and I am the machine.
That'd be perfect.
That would be very good. Very good. So, you guys.
I just
make your
imagine
way-
like an M134 just going crazy.
So yeah, so you guys basically make your way out into the Deathlands. The idea here is that you're going to be making your way towards Glacier Keep. You're not entirely sure what you're going to be running into or what you may find, but you know that you've been given a mission to find Leandros, whatever that may entail. As you step out into the wastes, the wind chills, the ice burns, and the snow begins to pluck itself ever gently onto your armor and clothing as it bellows in the wind. The elements are rather rough today as you go forward, but it's not something that would hinder you, but you know that if you spend too long out in this cold that it may have some side effects. And so you begin walking, sticking to the defilades, the ravines, keeping yourself out of sight of anything that could be possibly flying overhead.
I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah. You all just scoot ever gently, ever quickly. You seem to follow Yuri, who's in front of you, as his red clothing seems to stick out amongst the snow that has fallen. Easy to find and follow as he seems to take point and push forward. The rest of you hustle behind to your best advantage of what you do, as you move just fast enough to keep everyone together, but not fast enough that you could possibly lose yourselves. You guys see that as you all step into the snow, that your clothing more or less stays the same, minus Nameless. As once he steps into the snow, the clothing he has in his body changes from a dark gray of what it was on the inside of the tomb to a bright white of shimmering gray patterns, as he seems to almost blend effortlessly into the snow piles around him. Minus his head that is not covered by its hood, you can see him, but if he didn't want you to see him, you imagine that you would have a hard time finding him. And so you all walk.
I might need to piggyback ride if this gets too deep. I'm pretty small.
Right there with you, Orphan. Thank goodness Okros has two shoulders.
And he's got an open back.
I love it here. You continue through the snow. The snow.
Picture myself flipping my hood up. Now you see me? Now you don't. Now you see me? Now you don't.
You all continue effortlessly through the snow. It does not seem deep enough to cause issues for now. You imagine the further north you go that the snowfall may become too much for those of shorter stature to bear. But for now you are all able to safely trek through these pathways that seem rather worn among the stone and the trees that lay waste, and lay your path in front of you. I need Mr. Cactus to roll me perception, as you are point man currently.
Now you see me? Now you don't.
Oh, you can kiss my ass. That was a 17 and it rolled over. That's a 7.
Oh, no, it
Fucking
took...
love when it does that.
Ah, yes, the dice taketh, and the dice taketh away. Come on,
Just when you
Owlbear.
think it can't take it anymore, it do it again.
Can I change that outcome at all?
There's, I think, a few of you that have, like, Flash of Genius or something of that nature. You can help out at this time. If you would like to help with your eyeballs, you can give him advantage, and then I know with Stealth he has Flash of Genius that could also help.
Yeah, if we wanna.
Well, so I have Eyes of the Eagles. That's what what I was getting at. If I could.
Yeah, you can assist him, and that would just basically let him
Yeah.
re-roll it.
Yeah. I'll assist on that then.
Yeah. So go ahead and re-roll the cacti.
Okay, thank God I rolled over that time. 17.
Alright. So, as you look through the snow, looking ever precariously, you catch... Who keeps playing Pornhub? Stop!
Well, first it was Mandy, now it's Cactus.
Of course. You catch
NPC
a
monkey
whiff.
Ooh.
God damn it. You catch the
Quick
smell...
question: does
of-
that have like the voice mod change too, or no?
No, it did not.
No,
Okay,
not that I
good.
noticed.
came through normally.
Good. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, as you
Oh, I forgot
walk
to turn my
through
mic
the
on.
snow, Cactus, you catch a whiff of something smelly. You're not sure if maybe it's your nose playing tricks, or if something is afoot that you just can't see at the moment. And as you look and look, you see two large mounds in front of you.
Stop. You, small cat. Front.
What's up, boss? What we got?
Something smells.
It doesn't make points at the gnome.
You making it seem like the gnome does everything. That's not me.
Not gnome. Small cat. Better sense of smell. Can hide. Not big cat. No hide. Small cat. Go.
All right. Well, let's see what I can find.
I love how you just changed from nameless to nameless in brackets. Bracket.
Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of going with it at this point. Kind of works.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check it out.
Yep.
Should
So
I
you guys
pass
go...
without trace first?
I mean, you can.
Let it play. Go.
Yeah, so you guys step out into the snow where you can clearly see that there are two large mounds to the front, and that when you step closer, you can definitely tell that there is a smelly smell that smells smelly. You can't exactly tell...
Smelly smell?
Yeah, the smelly smell. You can't exactly tell where it's coming from. You know it's coming from the front, but it's odd. It seems to be coming from more than one direction. And amongst the snow, it sticks out. As you know from your adventures in different lands, that when everything freezes over, the smell of rot seems to disappear. But as you really focus on it, you can smell almost just death rot, which should be impossible in a land covered in permafrost.
May I ask a question?
You may.
Does Creed know this smell?
Yes, you would know this smell.
Oh, great. Get back. You won't even get back.
You would know the smell of rot. You don't know what it's from, but you know that something is rotting, and it's odd, out of place.
Still, it's best to be careful. Don't you go poking things in the snow.
And so you see the two large mounds in front of you. The mounds are large and rounded. Peculiar out of this flat piece of terrain you find yourself on. The trees seem to have been broken and fallen on their sides.
Great. So at this point, I'm gonna put my hood up to blend in even more, and run back to the party. So it seems like the smell, this just death is just coming from these two mounds over there. Another thing that's weird is all the trees are broken and fallen on the ground. I can't really tell what those mounds are, but that seems like where they're coming from.
Should we try to avoid those mounds then?
And that might be for the best. What does everyone else think?
Point out that if whatever I could speak, if whatever is under there is actively killing the trees, I don't suppose it'll just let us walk past. At least that was the case on the way north. Anyways, watch your step. If there's two, there's three. If there's three, there's four.
And so at this point, all of you should be able to make sure everything is unlocked. Yes. So your tokens are on the board, so you should be able to move yourselves accordingly of how you wish to proceed. You have... No. Return.
Spoiler alert.
Shush.
Oh dear.
Shush. You have about 80 to 90 feet between you guys and the mounds. And around the entirety of this area, the trees have been knocked over on their side. Oh, thank you, Rexus. You have a token for yourself. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
His name is Soft because he is soft.
No, soft
Nice
because I'm a
soft.
shepherd of fire.
Nope, nice soft fur.
Oh. Oh. You're talking about me. I'm Thoth.
So, you guys have about 80, 90 feet between you and the mounds. And so you believe that the smell of death is coming from these mounds, and the trees are knocked over along their sides. The ice and snow seem to have made a relatively flat landscape in front of you, not too deep for your smaller compatriots to wade through, but definitely deep enough in some parts for things to hide in.
Does my quarterstaff notice anything?
So your quarterstaff of warning would allow you to make sure that you are not surprised by anything that tries to ambush you in the sense of hitting you from the back or the flank. You can tell that something is here, as it is telling you that there is something afoot, if you will. But
Yes, we're not alone.
But as for what exactly is afoot, you do not know.
Be on your guard. I can tell we're not alone. The staff have given me sight.
So what's the plan?
We're in a snowy environment, and I like fire, so I could just throw a fireball.
May not be the best course.
That is an option. I'm not going to deny that, but whatever's out there is killing the wildlife, so probably not the best option.
I know you said we can't really move around them either. So what else can we do if you don't want to attack it either?
I said to watch your step. I did not say we could not navigate around them. Just be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we can see two does not mean there are not more. I can speak. Sorry.
That's fair.
I'm simply advising caution.
Wait, Jarvis.
Well, we are all together. I can cast Pass Without Trace to try to get by them.
I can also teleport if need be.
I would rather not have resort to using magic. Let's just take it slow, see how close we can get.
There is, I suppose, an alternative. And it's,
Others.
I must admit, it's a bit more direct. I don't suppose one of you has a dagger.
Dagger? I have a couple.
Might I have one?
Yeah, I have 2. Here's one for you.
Wonderful.
Hand him the dagger.
Grim, I'm gonna go ahead and hide. As they're doing this, I'm just gonna hide.
Okay. Roll me stealth.
There was
I'm not even playing. 22.
one I knew. I mean, I lost him in high charity as far as I'm aware, but his name was Cactus. And he taught me a principle, which was recall by fire. And with that, Crane's going to go ahead and throw a dagger at one of the mounds.
Or give me athletics.
All right, let me pull up the old work phone in D&D Beyond.
I mean, I can roll it for you if you want.
See, no offense, buddy. I don't trust you.
What do you mean you don't trust me? I'm just gonna click on your fucking buttons.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. But I'm already up here, so.
I would like to fully wear my cloak at this point.
Yes.
How does 25 sound?
Yeah. So with a 25, you can throw it, and you throw it with gusto, and you easily make the distance between you and the mound. Which mound were you throwing it? Just at the mounds, near one of them, at one of them?
About where I would assume center mass would be.
Of which one? Or just between the two?
The one on the right.
The one on the right. Okay. So you throw the dagger, and it flies through the air as you see Nameless scour down into the snow. You see Yuri, as he's now going in my brain for the sake of keeping things simple, ducks into the snow himself, trying to cover the red of his clothing. As this dagger lands into the mound point first, and you see both the mounds start to shift. You hear guttural bellows from inside the snow. As
Why does that sound like my stomach after Taco Bell?
as something starts to awaken.
I want to say as those guys awaken really quick, I look to my left and to my right and go, wait, where'd the 2 party members go?
Wait, where'd 2 of them go? Oh, shit.
I'm pretty hidden, you know?
Thankfully, I'm tiny.
Pretty sure your pony hat gives you away, but okay.
Oh, this is a hat of disguise. Yeah, I'll use it for emergencies.
So you see 3 of your members have hidden themselves in the snow as the dagger lands. And yes, Blackburn?
Do I have to? Can I say how I draw weapons, or do I have to roll for that?
To draw your weapon?
Yes.
No, you can just pull your sword out if that's what you're asking for.
Yeah. Because I want Cree to pull out his crucible and to do like that sick gladiator like wrist spin thing.
Very good. Very
Hell
good.
yeah.
So you all draw your weapons and ready yourselves as the mounds begin to move. as you see out of the snow rise two large trolls, their bodies dilapidated and rotting, their skin falling away, showing the sinew and muscle underneath. The stench they carry now becoming ever evident now the snow and permafrost does not cover them. They stand with eyes that seem as wide as the snow around you, their bodies large, standing to the tune of 16 feet tall, towering above the landscape in front of you. And one of them has a dagger in its back and seems very unhappy with that circumstance.
As you do.
I will admit, I saw this going rather better.
I hope you guys like the smell of burnt flesh.
Hope you like the smell of burnt flesh. Wonderful.
Is this the troll toll?
No. Also, I hate you.
I made a mistake because this is going to be nothing but freaking puns this entire campaign, isn't it?
Hopefully not. But we'll see.
Oh,
Alright,
bother.
so,
Alright.
at this point, I need initiative.
Well, let's hope initiative goes better for this campaign than it does in the past.
Check to see if your quarterstaff of warding gives you advantage on your initiative.
Oh, I probably should have done that.
Yeah.
I have advantage. It says advantage somewhere.
It says advantage
initiative.
somewhere.
No, I have an advantage thing on my thing. On my initiative thing. Oh, I do have advantage. So, I'll just roll again. Take the higher of the two. Oh, yeah, I'm taking the 14.
You know there's starving children in Africa who don't have advantage on initiative.
Well, I do, so fuck.
Alright. Alright, what's everyone else's initiative?
Check. Did
I
my
hear you.
internet unplug itself?
Nope, I hear you.
Okay, cool.
I got
21.
21.
I got 20.
20.
Oh,
Alright.
Oh. I ain't doing anything.
Swear to God.
Well, Mr. Cactus does all of the stuff. I'll be back. Be right back.
I ain't doing all of the shit. I'm just.
Alright, Rage, what'd you get?
14.
14 as well. Good.
Oh.
Great.
Oh,
And
also, I-
Nez.
12.
12. Numbers. Then I got Rexus and Warfin. So I got bum. Wait, who the fuck am I missing? I'm missing
Creed?
I'm gonna
yeah,
send
that's
you
what
right now.
I was like, wait a second, brain.
Yeah, he rolled 13.
He rolled 13. Thank you. Alright, and then that is there, and that's gonna be. So that's gonna be. Alright, and then Shabogan. Oof. That is gonna be a big oof.
Ooh for him or ooh for us?
It's going first. That's a nat 20.
Yeah.
That's
One
what,
of them is
that's
very
what I'm
much going
thinking.
first.
That's what I'm thinking, but I was trying to ask first.
I wanted to ask first. I wanted to know.
Look, I knew it was a nat 20, hoping for a nat 1. All right, I just wanted to ask.
You're like, please. Alright.
Please, Lord, have mercy.
Lord, please. Alright, so at this point, the trolls are up and shuffling, and so the first one is going to move. T2 specifically is going to move the 30. That seemed like a lot. No, go back. I hate these large tokens. They're not centered. Cease.
Peace.
Cease.
I'm not seeing
And
the
desist.
All right, and then it is now Cactus. Cactus, then Rexus, then other troll.
All right. So first thing I'm gonna do. Okay, he's there.
Yes.
So I'm going over here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna still hiding.
Okay.
Then, or rather, sorry, going over here. That's 35 feet. Cunning action dash
Okay.
puts me up here.
Yes.
Back here,
Yes.
and I'm gonna hide.
Okay. You are still hiding.
Yep, that's it.
They did
Fucking
not see
low.
you.
Fucking low crawling through the turn.
Army crawling. There you go. All right. Rexus. Ocros. What do?
I'm still looking for the horse up and sleigh. Just saying.
Pick me up, Rexus. Carry me.
Yes.
Who's Rexus?
Oh,
I'm mad. I'm coming with you, Ogros.
I can pick him up with my bonus action, right?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Okros will pick up Orphan with his bonus action and set him on his shoulder and charge towards T2. What is my movement? .45. Okay.
Fancy barbarian with 45 movement speed.
Boy can
Look
move.
at you. Boy can do a hustle. A sweet, sweet hustle.
And let's see how long to, I guess. Now that puts me within. That'd be about 5 feet or 10 feet.
It's gonna be 10 to the edge. I had to fix
Okay.
the grid so we could see it against the snowscape, because of course.
Okay. Then, I will lob a hand axe at it then, because I can't reach it with my mace yet.
Alright. Roll that dice.
17 plus 7, so 24 to hit.
That is a hit. Roll that damage.
Oh, max damage, 10 damage.
Very good. Very good.
And, then I probably should have done that before. No, I can't because I used my bonus action to pick him up. I can't reach. Okay. Then I end my turn.
Alrighty. So that brings us to T1, who is going
Wait to hear
to...
Ogros's catchphrase.
What's the catchphrase?
We'll hear it next turn.
Time to cook. No.
I hate it. I love it, but
Can
I
you smell it?
Can you smell what's cooking? Yeah, I can smell him from here, motherfucker.
I can smell him from over here. Alright, and then that's going to bring us to Warfin, the Nameless, then Creed, then Nez. So, Warfin, you're up.
Warfin is going to hop off. Do I have to use an action to hop off his back?
You use a bonus action.
Okay, I'm going to use a bonus action to hop off his back just so I can back up to a safe distance. We're going to go this way instead of the other way because that's towards the other baddie. We're going to go right about here. That's what, 10 feet? Yeah, it's about 10 feet. And then we're going to throw a firebolt cantrip at T2.
Okay, roll that dice.
24?
That is a hit.
Alright. 2d10. I'll take 16. 16 dabblage.
Yeah, 16 dabblage.
16 dabblage. I'm trying to see if I have anything else. Nothing. Oh. That looks like it'll be it for Fin One Eye.
So, you guys see Warfin cast a very quick cantrip out of his hands to fire a small flame bolt at the troll. As it lands, the miasma that was coming off the troll seems to lessen and kind of recede for a moment as its skin is singed. As you can see it start to slightly regenerate and peel off as the body continues to decompose. Alright, that brings us to Nameless.
Perfect.
Perfect.
First thing I want to do is cast Hail of Thorns at a level 2.
Alright, so
Uh-huh.
we get to do the magical instability. The first one of the campaign, hooray!
So just regular D20, right?
You're going to roll a d20. You're going to be rolling between a 2 and a 19.
Oh, okay.
Man, that's pretty hard. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do it.
Listen,
Yeah,
the dice
it's a
take
pretty hard threshold, dog.
I know, I barely made it. I don't know how I did it.
He got
It's a
16.
miracle.
It could have been hoof. It could have been bad.
Close.
Yeah, so
Close.
you cast Hail of Thorns easily, and you're able to do the thing. Nothing bad
Awesome.
happens.
Awesome. I didn't want to rip away the protective cloth over my rifle and take aim at T1
Okay,
with my first attack, and I would like to fire.
right. Roll to hit.
$23.
That is a hit.
Awesome. Damage from the rifle first. 24.
Very good.
And sorry, the spell is another 2d10. 16.
Very good.
And then with my second attack, let's go ahead at T1 again.
All right, roll to hit.
19.
Just barely. Yep, that's a hit.
Ooh. Alright. Rifle damage first. 11. And then my Hail of Thorns. Another 6.
Very good.
And then I will take my bonus action to hide.
Very good. Hide in the snow. Bit sneaky. The sneakiest freaky. Alright, that brings us to Creed.
I'm getting bits and pieces of Owlbear because apparently the iPhone hates Owlbear. Fun fact.
We've been having issues with Mac systems today on Owlbear for some reason. And D&D Beyond, it's weird. Don't know.
So, Riga's gonna go ahead. Is the one I threw a dagger at? Is he still kicking?
Yep, that's T1. He's
Perfect.
still farting around.
Riga's gonna go ahead and
He's got some holes in him now, though.
Foliandros! And he's gonna go ahead and cast a guiding bolt. A little guiding bolt. Level 2.
Alright,
Second level.
I'll need you to roll the hit and then roll me another d20 behind it.
I got a 15. And just a standard d20 behind
Yes.
it. Wonderful. That's an 11.
Alright, so you don't hit and nothing bad happens.
Wonderful. What? It did not hit, so... I guess, he's not gonna do much else, so...
All right.
Everyone's going to burn these things, so I'll do it.
And that brings us to Nez.
All right. I'm going to cast Firebolt at T1.
All right.
Ooh, 10.
That is a miss, good sir. You are, believe your firebolts.
Cantrip.
Yeah, cantrip. So you are good. Yep. So if you have another attack for your action, you can. Otherwise, I think you burned it because it's the firebolt's a full action.
Yes. I only
Alright.
have that.
So that brings us to the troll. The troll toll. So T2 is going to advance on Okros because he sees him and wishes to munch. And is going to do a slap. It gets how many? 1 bite, 2 claws. Sweet. So, blur. What's your AC?
17.
Alright, so he misses on the big chops. He's going to swipe at you. So he hits you with a swipe. And then hits you with the second swipe. And so you're going to get hit for... No, go away, dice. I don't need you. I need the other one. Dunk, dunk. Uh-huh. 25 slashing. And 16 necrotic.
Damn, son.
Meow.
17 necrotic, you said?
16. 1, 6.
Okay.
Must say, if it hit for 60 damage, 6-0, holy
No,
shit.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
so
that's
yes.
what I read.
Yeah.
So he swings down
That's
at
a helpful hit.
Okros. So you see the troll pull itself up and try to swipe and bite at the barbarian in front of him. The jaws clamp empty near the barbarian as the claws come down and hit him twice, dealing a good amount of damage. But you see that the miasma pouring off the back of the other troll is not present with the one that Okros is currently fighting. It's still his body singed from the damage that Warfin did before. And that brings us to Urea. Uriatic acid.
Uriatic acid. Fuck you, I know where that comes from. I am educated enough. You can fuck yourself, sir.
Yuri, you fucking got shit going on. What you got? What you
I'm
doing?
going to draw my rapier, and I'm going to get to shanking.
Alright, you're going to get the shanking.
Yep. I get advantage because flanking, right?
Yes. And you're coming out of hiding, so he doesn't see you, so he won't be able to react.
Fishing for the crit. Nah, it's fine. 20.
Alright, that is a hit.
Alright. Uh, 10 damage off the rapier. I'm going to do the whack. 7 sneak attack damage off of that.
Very good.
You know exactly what I'm about to do.
Yep.
Gonna burn a sorcery point to quicken spell on a cantrip, Booming Blade, and do that another melee attack with that.
Very good.
Forgot I can multi-attack with my
I'm
barbarian.
so glad I can do that. Okay, so 16 hit.
That is a hit.
All right. 9 rapier. 6 sneak attack. 6 booming.
Very good.
Desmi.
All right, Okros. Revenge time.
Ooh, wait, real quick. Since I forgot. Since I can, because Storm Sorcery, I get to move 10 feet without provoking attack of opportunity.
Very good.
Yeet.
All right, now Okros. Revenge time. Yes.
So, Okros is going to rage now.
Very good.
So
Your
that will
catchphrase,
expend my
good
bonus
sir.
action. I mean, I was just joking, but I guess that is my joke catchphrase.
It's
It's
let's get
time to
cooking.
cook.
Oh, it's time to cook. Yes, very good. Listen, I want you to know all the catchphrases and stuff you guys are doing. My drawing tablet is coming tomorrow. You bet your ass I'm gonna start making merch that has like the scenes and catchphrases on them. If you think I wouldn't, you're crazy.
That's
You truly
perfect.
did. Creed's little thing in Hero Forge already has him holding a sword forth. So I'm willing to assist in any way I can.
That's fine. Alright, so it's time to cook, Okros. What you do?
I draw my maul and I charge the rest of the distance at it to get nice up and close so I can actually melee swing at
you're
it.
in his
Oh
face.
no, it's already close enough? Never mind.
Yep.
Yeah. Forgot
It-
to look at Albert.
It moved into its close combat
looking
range
at my
with you, so it's close enough to hit you, you're close enough to hit it.
Fair enough. I thought it was just big enough that it was able to hit me from... Okay.
No, they're not that cool.
Fair enough. And I am going to choose to utilize my Thunderous Blows.
Very good.
And that will be 2 attacks with my maul against it while raging. So that's... sorry, I'm still trying to figure out the barbarian shit.
It basically, when you're doing a rage, unless it is different than what the rage we've been working with salty stuff, is that it gives you advantage on all physical skills, but for your attacks, you deal extra damage.
Okay. Since strength take bonus to damage roll. No one. Great. Oh. I see rage now. Oh, no, I see it. 2. Okay. Well, 10 plus 17 to hit with first strike.
That is a hit.
And 5 plus 7, so 12 for the second strike.
Second one does not hit.
Okay, but I do hit with the first one.
Yes, you do.
Okay. And 6 and 5, I get 2d6 with my maul. So that's 11 plus 4, so 15 damage. And oh, jeez, with Thunderous Blows, it's a DC 8 plus proficiency plus strength modifier. Oh shit, okay. Proficiency is 3, strength modifier is 4. So it's a DC 15 save, strength save, to push it 5 feet away from me. And then...
Alright.
Oh, I thought that did extra damage as well. Oh, well, that works.
So you do technically 17 because you're raging, you get that +2 on the end. But he does fail his save and gets pushed back.
Nice. And I can apparently choose to immediately move 5 feet into the target's previous position, so I'm going to... And I think that is all I can do, so
All right.
that is my turn.
So that brings us to Troll 1, which he is going to approach the small man. He cannot hit the small man, but he approaches menacingly. Menacingly. And that's
He's
all.
just standing there.
Menacingly. So yes, so that is what that troll does, and that brings us to Morphin, and then Nameless.
Well, I have a question. This is obviously my first time playing a sorcerer. So I have the green flame blade
Yes.
cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 8th level, and my question is, it says at 5th level the melee attack deals an extra 1d8 damage, fire damage to the target on a hit, and the fire damage to the second creature increases to 1d8 plus your spell casting. Obviously he's not close enough within 5 feet to get the other one. So for the roll, I would do my quarterstaff of warning, but it would have the green flame blade attached to it. So it would be the bludgeoning damage plus the fire damage plus another d8.
It's only an extra D8. It's the weapon damage, right? So whatever your bludgeon damage for your thing is, and then the D8 on that. It's only an extra D8 if you're casting it at 5th level or higher.
Okay, makes sense.
It's not your level. It's the level of if you're casting the spell at 5th level.
Okay.
So like then you have like first level, second level, third level spells, and so on.
So this is what I'm like. I just want to make sure I'm right. This is obviously doesn't count, whatever. So with it, if I did this, so it'd be bludgeoning damage, right? Boom.
Yep.
And then you roll for the fire damage as well.
Correct.
So it'd be like 6 and then 6 again.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
You
So
are entirely correct.
What Warfare wants to do, Warfare wants to get away from the big guy that's chasing him. He wants to get closer to the other big guy. He sees his buddy Ogros. He's gonna go all the way over here, all the way over there, which is only like 15 feet. So Ogros, Warfin wants to take a swing at T2 with his quarterstaff of warning.
So you approach the troll going up for the hit. You will land your hit, but because you approach the troll as he was currently fighting Okros and he can see you, he's going to take a swank at you. Your AC's what?
15.
Alright. So he barely misses you as you approach.
Nice.
Very nice.
Barely misses you as you come up and you land your blow on him with your quarterstaff.
Roll for dabblage.
Yes, roll for dabblage.
We love dabblage.
4, 5, because it's the +1.
Are you doing your green flame as well?
Yeah, I'm doing the green flame as well. My bad, I forgot to say that.
You silly man.
Oh,
so
right.
the grace.
Him and I didn't. We didn't roll the risk die.
Because it's a cantrip.
Mine's a
for
cantrip.
him.
Okay.
Because if
Okay,
it's
so-
a cantrip, it doesn't get affected by the instability because it's not pulling enough power to actually cause it. So
Yeah, it's
you
literally
do-
nothing. It's a cantrip.
You do 12 to T2,
And then
and
I'm
then
gonna use hold on. I was just there. I'm gonna use a spell. Where is it at? Oh yes. Dragon's Breath. I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath as a 3rd level spell. To buff who's closest? Okros. To give Okros the fire buff to hold on a second. It takes 3d6 damage if it's a.
So, just so you're aware, you can do it to yourself as well.
I know.
Okay. Just, I
I'm
want to
gonna-
make sure that you know that's a thing you can do. You don't have to give it to someone else.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
Good.
My bad. I'm gonna use it as a 3rd level spell, but I'm gonna use my sorcery points to make sure it's a bonus action rather than a regular spell. So I don't have the
It's
second
already
action.
a bonus action.
I thought it said you had to use.
Dragon's Breath is already a bonus action spell.
That is mighty helpful. So I'm gonna cast level 3 Dragon's Breath. How do I even give it to him?
You basically would just be like, I touch Okros and I cast the spell, and then you basically tell Rexus Okros that he essentially has a breath attack of the chosen element you wish to give him.
Okay. So so you want me to say in character?
Yes or no. It's you could either.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. So Okros or Brixus, I'm gonna give you the Dragon's Breath spell. It's at a 3rd level. So the creature within the 15-foot cone, each creature within a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw, and if they fail it, they take 3d6 damage, or if they pass the dex save,
So
they
hold
get.
on. You're going.
My bad.
You're doing some wrong numbers here. So let me put it into brass tacks.
This is my first time playing a sorcerer.
I know you're fine. That's why I'm going to walk you through it. So you're casting at a 3rd level. So first thing I need you to do is roll me a spell die.
Roll d20, yes?
Yes. And
My
then
bad,
you
I'm
need
going
to
way too
choose
fast.
an element.
Fire.
Fire. So that means, Rexus, you will have a breath attack for the next minute that has a save of 14 against enemies within 15-foot cone in front of you. That deals 4d6 fire damage. And Warfarin, you rolled a 13. You needed to roll between a 3 and an 18, so you did it. So nothing bad happens. Then you casted that. So then we just tunk it off your list there. Make sure you burn that slot. And then...
Indeed.
Rexus, for theatric's sake, I will let you cast it if you wish, or to use the flame breath if you wish now.
Okay.
Basically, you just have to do a dex save on the troll.
I have to do a dex save on the troll?
No, I have to do a dex save for the troll.
Oh, sorry, you have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I'll unleash it on it now. Then I'll try to. Wait. That won't catch.
No,
will
it will not.
No, it's 15 feet.
Okay.
He's 20 something.
Yeah.
He is
Even
just
even
outside
if
the
it
range.
does, even if it does, I can dodge my ass off. It's fine.
Yep. So,
Um,
cool. So you feel this magic imbued in you from Warfarin, as him being small wishes not to be the catalyst of this funnel of magic that he is. And so giving you, his blood-bounded brother, and the large man next to him that has helped him through many a dire strait, you bellow out this cloud of flame between you and the troll, and it catches the troll in the face, and he fails his save, taking the 4d6 fire damage, which this says acid, but ignore it.
Yeah, I don't know why it says acid. It should be fire.
It's
One.
default.
Oh.
And 4. Okay, so 15 damage in total.
Yes. So he takes 15 damage, and you see the skin of
Does
the
that get the
troll.
+2 from my rage?
No, it's magic.
Okay.
It's not punchies. So you light up this troll. You see the skin burn and peel away. You see the flesh singe and crisp and charcoal as the miasma around it again recedes further backwards as you just burn away the fog that seems to creep out of its pores. And so that now brings us to Nameless, followed by Creed and Nez.
Okay, question first.
Answer.
So when Yuri's hidden and got advantage on his attack roll, is that because of his ability, or?
He's flanking.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
Okay, I
and
thought
you
it was
wanna
because
think of
just
it-
because it was hidden.
No, it's because the enemies didn't see him. So if you attack from stealth and you are hidden, or if you attack an enemy from behind or from the sides where they physically cannot see you, you get advantage because you have an opening.
Got it.
It's part of like team play. For melee fighters, it's very important that you get either to the side of someone that you're fighting, or directly behind them. Right? You want to be either 90 degrees or 180 with them. That way, because like
I mean, I didn't know if it was just a melee thing or if it was just all attacks. Because I mean, I'm
it's
hitting because of my cloak and I had the range thing. So, yeah.
Yep. So firing from stealth, you will be getting advantage to hit.
Okay. Cool.
As long as they don't know you're there.
Well, they shouldn't. So, they haven't used magic to find me. So yeah. All right. Cool. So and then my Hail of Thorns is still in play, yeah? Because I mean, it's a minute.
Yes, it's still going.
Okay. Cool. Then I want to lay down a shot right at T1 here in front of us.
All right. Roll the hit.
With advantage, yeah? Just to making sure one last time.
Because you
cool.
are sneaky.
Yep.
All right, that's it.
26. Sweet. So 2d10 with my rifle. Plus the 6, we're at 11 of that. And then Hail of Thorns damage is 15.
All right, that would be into T1. Where did I put your numbers? Big dude, 26. That'd be math. There you go. All right.
Wait a minute.
He's still kicking?
He's still kicking around. He's full of holes, but he's up and pushing.
Alright, then my second attack, I'll do the exact same thing. Another shot at T1 in front of us. Still advantage on the hit roll, yeah? Because I'm firing himself?
Let me see if he notices you. He doesn't. Continue.
$27.
That is a slap.
22 initial damage on the rifle. And then Hail of Thorns. 12.
Alrighty. That is bump bump.
And then, of course, bonus action to stay hidden.
Yes, yes. Roll stealth for me, please.
Mm-hmm. 21.
Thank you much. Alright, and that brings us to Creed!
Alright, so which of the two is looking less uncomfortable?
T1 looks to be full of holes, but definitely still aggressive and coming at you.
Creed is going to charge forward and go ahead and implement that sweet divine smite.
Dope.
Alright, so awkward doing this as I am also driving, so how do I take? I'm trying to figure this out. Actions. There it is. Yeah. Does a no, that's a 10. A 10 to hit. I guess that does not.
That is a not hit.
Oh well. Well, that's
You
that's
do
a
get
good
2
smite.
attacks.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot. Oh,
Because
go ahead, try again.
Your smite lasts until you hit something.
It's
Oh,
just
it does.
there. Yeah.
It's
Sweet. How about a
Smite?
14?
That is, unfortunately, a miss. And it does last
Well-
for a minute.
No, we get. Oh, there's always next time.
I mean, you do have your big shield and you're basically standing in front of them, so You
And
you have its attention.
oh, I have no doubt about that.
All right, and then that
But
brings.
do you
us
have this erection?
You might. Who's to say? All right, and that brings us to Nez.
Um, sure. I'm not muted, right?
No, you're good.
Oh, we hear you.
All right. I'm gonna move 10 feet up to here, and I am going to create an Eldritch Cannon flamethrower. So it's basically a little turret that's a flamethrower. Right. I'm just gonna move my character to where it's at for the moment. And that'll be my action. And then as a bonus action, I can attack. It has a range of 15 feet, and you need to make a dex save of 14. And then it's 2d8.
Look at these cool templates I have. Yeah, so just be careful of how you angle it, because...
Oh, so I wanted to... Okay, let's put that there.
Yep, there you go. So yeah, so
that's where
dex
I wanted the turret.
save on him. He fails it, so he'll take full damage.
Alright, so then that's a 2d8. 11.
Very good. Very good. And as he gets hit by the fire, you see the same thing happen like with the other troll, where the miasma around it seems to recede as its skin is burned away. Anything else funky you got for me?
Nope, that's all I can do.
Alright. So that brings us to the start of T2. He was singed, so you don't take ouchie from gas. So he's going to try and swing down at Okros again with his claw attacks. And he misses with the first. And he rolls the same, misses with the second. So then he's going to try and bite Orphan and completely flubs it. God damn it, you fucking troll. I'm asking for
You missed
one
me,
thing
bitch.
here.
Guess you can't eat the small ones, can you? I'm only an appetizer. You want the whole course. You don't want me. I'm just a tiny little guy.
All I want is one thing in life, and it's to hit my players with monsters. Is that too much to ask anymore?
Yes, it is.
Spice
Apparently
pirates are
so.
not so easily foiled.
You can't just take out the spice pirates. Oh, that fucked up.
Oh no.
You can't just take out the spice pirates.
Sound like your gnome went through puberty for a second.
Yeah.
So, this is what happens because of the foobar table I have. He goes to bite Warfrin and miss. Warfrin, you give him a sassy comeback. As Okros, you basically intervene to force him to miss the bite as he swipes at you and also misses. And as he misses it, he makes eye contact with you, Okros, and he can feel just the pure rage coming off of your person, especially now that he's threatened your blood bond. And he now is terrified of you.
Never piss off the chef.
It's not gonna fucking...
Today we
hook on,
learned
but
that the
it's fine.
undead can feel fear. Today we
Can
learned.
you feel fear, troll? Can you feel fear?
Step 1, come after a blood bond. Step 2, notice he's raging.
Step 3. Feel
Can I-
fear.
So
Can I communicate something real quick to him?
I mean, you can yell it as I'm moving the token. Go for it.
Or I'm gonna. Oh no, never mind. Oh, we're good. It moving just canceled it.
Okay. Yeah, because
This'll
basically it
last.
gets frightened of Okros and starts to shamble away. And doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. As it's just staring down and was like, nope, nope, no.
As it walks away, Okros just kind of stares at it, snorts, and
So-
goes, "That's right."
because it walks away from you, it doesn't take the disengage action, so both you and Warfrin get attacks of opportunity on it.
Hell yeah.
Fuck it up.
It's,
I can use a cantrip again, right?
Yes, it is at will.
Oh, mint.
I can math 16. 9 plus 7 is 16.
It does take 1d8 for moving.
25.
Oh,
Alright, that is also a hit.
I'm kicking it right in the ass with this firebolt.
Here's
And be gone, thought.
thought I hate you.
7 damage.
How much you get, Rexus?
11.
11. Okay. So. Be gone, thought. Fucking. Damn. Alright, so that is that. And you said he takes a d8 for moving. Takes another. Yeah, so now he is on fire, walked, and running away. So that's a really good combo for a troll. You know, that's awesome on his part. And so that brings us to Yuri, then Okros.
How's he looking?
Not great. He's
I like the chase.
very burned. He looks like a ham you left in the oven for too long.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna go right here, and Graham, I'm just gonna go ahead and do right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do both of these back to back. So it's just second level spell is 3 to 18. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm doing a pair of these.
You're doing a pair of them. Okay. So, are they to hit spells?
They're line attacks basically. They're not like
Okay.
there's no targeting. It's just a
Right,
line.
it's just a line attack. Okay. So then roll me your 2 spell die back to back. You want between a 3 and an 18. Both times. You're casting a second level both times?
Yeah.
So, I have to figure out a new
It's
rule for
twin-
the mechanic
it's
for
twin
you.
spell, I
I
should
know
say.
what it is. I understand it. But I'm trying to think of what's going to be a better mechanic because of casting multiple spells simultaneously. No, we'll say you roll for disadvantage. Because you're casting 2 spells at once.
So I roll both of those with disadvantage.
No, you roll 2 d20s at and take the lower of the 2 on your roll. So you're
Okay.
rolling once, but it's at disadvantage. Because I don't know how else to deal with that whole shenagle. And you
12
still
and a
are within
6.
range, so you're fine. Nothing explodes yet.
Okay, and then I gotta do real quick. Blah, 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 blah.
And do they have dex saves or anything I need to do on my end?
Yes. So both of these boys need to make a dex saving throw, or they take half damage on a successful save, and full damage if they fail it. And
I just
their
need
dex
the
is
DC.
16.
16, thank you. That's a fail on T2 and a pass on T1.
Yuri's basically going to step in, touch the blade, his rapier, activate the charm on the end of it, and do a quick pirouette, and fire off 2 30-foot long, 5-foot wide jets of flame.
Very
Can you be any more extra?
Yes,
Yes.
he could.
I'm a red mage. I have to do. It's being extra is part of what we do.
So, definitely. So, I'm going to give you. Do I have line attacks? Yes. So, here are your 2 lines. Line them up for your attack.
I can't turn them.
Yes, you can. There's a little spinny, the little arrow.
Oh, I have to physically select it.
Yes, you have to. There you go. Now you're cooking with grease.
Maybe it's better to use olive oil.
Did somebody say cooking?
I hate both.
May I make a recommendation for Mr. Barbarian Chef? I feel like you need to yell simple, like, cooking steps in a very angry tone of voice.
Taste
the chicken! Like, I'm gonna shred the cheese!
You cracked 3 eggs!
The marinade.
It's
He's
time
Gordon
to
Ramsay as a fucking.
I'm
He's
gonna
Gordon
do.
Ramsay as a lion barbarian. I love it. All right, roll damage for T. Just roll your damage.
That's the first
for-
one.
Yeah. Do the thing. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
So that's the full damage, and then the other one is 7 damage because he gets half.
All right, so 7
It'll
to
be
T2.
mercilessly
How
attacked.
much to T1?
No. The frightened one gets full damage because the frightened one failed the roll. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So he gets 14.
Yep. And then
Okay.
T1 gets the 7 because he passed the roll.
Sweet. Yeah, they both look fucked. They're both looking not great. They are now very much the Barbie of Q'd. God,
I love that
they
spell.
added
I
these
fucking
templates.
I love that fucking spell because like that spell, and then bonus action hide. Fuck it.
Bonus action hide.
18.
All right, cool. I will keep that in mind.
That said, fucking, I love that spell because it's the same amount of damage as Fireball, but at second level and a line,
Yeah.
as opposed to a 20-foot sphere.
My bad. I have to cast that 1 or 2 times in
Oh,
a
boy.
confined space of 10 feet.
Yeah, and kill the
Yeah.
entire party.
Kill the
Dude, Has it
entire-
all Scorcher is so fucking good.
I have Agonized Scorcher.
Dude, Agonization Scorcher. It's like it's fucking beautiful.
All right, so, Okros, it is time to cook, sir.
Seeing as the one is currently disengaged, I'm going to go help Creed with the other one.
Very good. You will
So
have
that
advantage to
is-
Punchy because you were attacking from behind.
Excellent. So that's going to be 2 attacks with advantage.
Yes.
And the first one, so that's plus, so 18 for the first one.
That's a hit.
And 18 plus 7, 25 for the second one.
That's also a hit.
Oh no, my dice, where'd that go? Uh-oh.
Everything's auto-tuned.
Everything's auto-tuned in the
Technical
opposite
difficulties?
direction.
That's the same with me. I'm just leaving mine on. But my chat kind of loves it. So, win-win.
It's fine. It works. It's a win-win. Yeah. It's good all the way around.
Watch me figure it out next time I'm in a party.
You're
That's
staying in
a
character.
priceless.
Bring it
Winky
for
says
tomorrow.
that
I'll
the
give
voice
him
is
a
the
Dutch
bestest.
one. Rexes, did you find your dice? Or are you still lost in the
No,
No.
I don't know where it is.
Oh no.
Oh, no. The lost dice.
I heard it hit the floor and rolled for a really long time, and now I don't know where it is.
Winky says I'm gonna play Borderlands 2 with his voice.
Oh, God.
And I agreed.
You did agree.
Wonderful.
Don't forget, you can breathe like a dragon.
That he can't. He can still do that as well.
I can do that multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spell
It's
lasts a minute.
it's a concentration spell from Warfen, so as long as he's keeping it concentrated, you can do the thing.
that's just the bonus action to use that then?
Yeah.
Or
It's a bonus action. It's a breath attack.
excellent. Then I will do that as well.
Very good. Once you find your dice, or just use the owlbear dice while that other one is MIA.
How do I? Where there it is. E6. And okay, so 4 for the first one.
Is it just a 1d6 for your mace?
Yeah.
You can click it twice and
No,
roll
it's
2 at
2.
a time.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's redo that. Okay, so 11 for the first hit, plus the 4 plus. Wait, yeah.
46
plus
for the
2, so it's plus 2 from raging and plus 4 from the thing, so that's a total of
17 on the first one.
7. Okay, nice. And then, oh no, I don't want to roll just one of them. Oof! Okay,
Oof.
and then minimum damage on the next one, so a total of 8 damage. And then for the breath attack, it's 4d4, right?
46.
4d6, rather, is what I meant, yes. Does it need to roll a save first before I roll damage?
No, you just roll damage, and then it will take either half or full damage.
Okay. 13.
So, as you charge the monster as it is engaged with Creed, throwing swings at Creed's large shield as they seem to bounce off, you just hit it twice in both of its legs, dropping it down to your height. And as it turns its head towards you, looking at you as the pain kind of goes through its body, you just unleash the fire from inside of you once more directly into its maw, singeing it from the inside out. And it falls over, a smoking corpse, in front of you and Creed. He is now the dead.
That bitch dead. D-E-D, dead.
Alright, so T1 is the deceased. And that brings us immediately to Warfin.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to use Misty Step. It's a level 2. To teleport over yonder. Can you see my orange little dot?
Yeah, you're good. Just move your character. I'm just this fucking 3.5-foot gnome just being like, where the fuck you think you're going? just like, just teleport. Oh god. Go ahead and move your token, Bird.
You want me to roll for it or not to roll?
Yeah, you can roll your spell die.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that. I'm just recovering from you being like, where fuck you think you're going? Alright, you said cast it at 2nd level? Yeah, you're fine.
15, 2nd level. Okay. Move these out of the way so I can do that.
Here's my question. How deep is the snow?
That is a good question.
Because he's not exactly tall.
So, you teleport into it, and the snow is up to your chin.
I'm okay with that. Could you imagine
So
seeing my head?
There's just a head spewing insults at this troll that's at least 7 times its height. What else
My
you got
steaks
there?
medium rare, but I like my trolls well done.
I'm going to cast Firebolt.
You're gonna cast another firebolt. Alright, very good,
Oh, yeah.
very good.
Boink.
Roll the hit.
7? Are you fucking kidding me?
And it was a nat 1.
Weapons
Yes.
check! Weapons check!
Oh, it was combat magic. So that
Oh
means
shit, he rolled a 1 up.
he rolled a 1
Yeah.
to hit. Not on a spell roll, but
Oh, thank
on
God.
his actual
Whew.
to hit.
Yeah.
Well, this bitch is going flying off
So
somewhere.
you do it, and as you stare up at the troll, you are now also frightened until your end of your next turn. So you're both terrified of each other, and you run backwards away from him through the snow, very slowly.
So you talk shit to it, and now you're running away.
So what essentially happened is that you saw.
Where the fuck do you think you're
Warfin-
going?
Yeah, you essentially
What's
saw
supposed to happen?
Warfin pop up in front of the troll, fire the fireball. It hits the troll, but doesn't seem to do anything, and as it looks down at him, Warframe just goes, "Ah!" and then starts like running through the snow. You see the top of his fucking hat in the snowbank. Yeah, and so that brings us to Nameless.
Oh man. Just imagine like a little like fireball paper wad coming out of that little staff. Alright, has it been a minute yet or is it still good?
No, a minute's like 10 rounds, so you're good.
Okay. Fair, cool, awesome. And yeah, I'm just gonna fire at T2.
Alright. Roll the hit with
Hey,
the advantage, because
with the advantage. I am the hidden.
You are striking from the snowbank.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Oh, that's a hit. I wish you rolled the nat one.
Woo! Woo! My hands are now sweaty.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
That almost cost me one of my lives.
You should be really, really worried, my dude. Because, no, it's starting to speak Finnish.
Huh? What'd you say, Blackbird?
I said that Cactus needs to worry because the snow is starting to speak Finnish.
19 on the hit with a rifle.
So you see the troll start to move after Warfin as Warfin tried to intimidate it and failed. And as its head turns, you all just hear a round crack out from the snow, just barrels into the headspace of the troll as it just slowly collapses. Finally deceased for the final time into the snowbank below. And you find yourselves now out of combat, having defeated both the trolls. And you
should have
all
landed on your feet.
You all stand for a minute and reconvene your senses in what needs to be done. And as you pull yourselves together, taking quick understanding of where you are and what's occurred over the last few minutes, you continue moving. As you continue moving, you start to notice that there are other mounds through the trees. As the smell of death starts to waft over the snowy landscape. And you find yourself now within the mist of more of these creatures that seem to rise from the snow and begin to shamble towards you. You see that now, along the distance, there are 8, if not more, of these trolls. Their bodies silhouetted by the snow, broken trees, and the essence of the fog that has settled behind it. You brace yourselves until you start hearing the cracks of rifles from the distance. To the northwest, you hear the large report of large caliber rifles begin to fire down on the trolls. 1, then 2, then 3 fall. From out of the snow, you see 3 interesting individuals seem to pop out of their own mound along a hillside. They seem to look like wizards, but one of them carries a very large caliber rifle, the other 2 carrying smaller hunting rifles. Thick magical tomes strapped to all of their hips, their clothing of vibrant colors with markings of the schools of knowledge they have studied. But it seems now that the art of the rifle has replaced the art of the spell. They motion to you, waving to you as pointing through the snowstorm that has begun to run through, telling you to just run for it, that they'll cover your approach. You're a few miles from the Keeper's Tomb, So whoever these individuals are must have been out here for a while. And so you begin to run, going as quickly as your legs can take you, as more and more mounds start to shake to life. You come to realize why this land is called the Deathlands, separating the tomb from Glacier Keep. It seems that something has entered into the soil here and is bringing back the bodies of long forgotten creatures. As you begin to see the shapes of large canine and other animals, you seem to spot an owlbear in the distance, but moving strangely compared to what you've seen before. You see larger bears, their skin and flesh flayed back, revealing bone and skeletal structures, skulls with empty eyes staring into the distance as they all begin to converge as you continue to run. The rifle reports continue as you begin to hear the groans of the monsters as they begin to gain ground. You feel like you run forever until you finally see the walls of a city in front of you. Walls is a strong term, as these seem to be what's left of those walls. You continue running, picking up your smaller compatriots and getting them through what you can of the snow and the hazardous conditions to keep you pushing forward. You get a little bit closer to the walls as you see the undead continue to approach. The animals that have been raised, acclimated to this environment, seem to keep chase much better than those of the trolls that seem to wander in between them. You stop hearing the rifle reports behind you as you continue to run. As you make it a few hundred meters between you and the wall, no motion, no fire, no smoke, no light coming from the town in front of you. As you approach, you're feeling exhaustion clawing at your body, clawing at your mind, as you have now realized the magnitude of what you've been asked to do. And you continue to approach the wall, pushing yourself past your limits, until something pops up in front of you. Out of the snow seems to be this creature, twice the size of what a grizzly bear would look. Its body broken, frozen, and scarred. Its claws longer and sharper than others. Its face scarred and exposed of the eyeless sockets that used to hold its sight. And it barrels down at you between you and the wall. And as it lunges and seems to throw its body weight at you, now closing the few feet of distance between you and it, its jaws open wide, the smell of death wafting ever stronger from it, a guttural bellow exiting its maw as it opens and charges.
Can I use acrobatics to dodge, please?
You hear a singular rifle shot. And that's where we end our session.
I want what he's got.
Yeah, and that's where we end it, is where you guys are being charged by an undead bear just at the gates of Glacier Keep.
Damn.
Very cool.
I'd like to stay for the recap, but I gotta go, honestly.
Yeah, go. You're good.
Alright.
Have a good one, man.
See
Good one.
Rage, Brixis, Stealth, and Burn tomorrow.
Have a
Yep.
lovely day, all of you. Oh,
I
you
will
don't want to
guys
see me?
soon.
Fuck you. Okay.
Well, I'll see
You're
you
not
at the
in
end,
the
but
game tomorrow, you nerd.
Yeah.
I'll be in chat.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
Did you cyberbully the cactus? I hope all of you have a lovely night tonight.
You as well, Moist.
You as well.
And yes, I'm calling you that for a reason. There's a reason.
Oh, I know. There is shaping up. This is shaping up to be quite a fun campaign, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, purely because we have another sorcerer in the party, that makes me happy. Bro, like having two blasters. If they know what they're doing, having two blasters is kind of insane because sorcerers hit hard as shit.
Oh yeah, they do.
And when you get multiple of them going, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So that is what you guys have to do with tomorrow or next week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Here's the little token for the boy. The big chungy.
Oh. Yes.
So all we heard was a rifle shot. We don't know if it's dead.
Yep. Basically,
Cool.
went to charge you, and you heard a singular rifle shot, and
So fades to black, and then
basically,
yeah.
As a quick side note,
Feedback. If you take out this like guy that everyone's been like missing and proud of like serving under for 13 years, and on your first mission you get him killed, throwing it out there, that doesn't look very good for you. So, just some feedback.
Some feedback. Just put it out there, everybody. Just
make sure this is okay with you. I'm flavoring my spell focus instead of it being like a staff. It's my sword. It's the rapier.
Yeah.
Probably with like a little,
Whatever you say, wife.
probably like a little crystal or something in the back of it, on the end of it.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
You sure you don't want multiple chambers with different elemental types? Maybe there's a little spin with the handle where you do your pirouettes.
Talking about gunbreaker shit? No.
No, I'm referencing character.
Yeah,
Who?
referencing a little Percy, maybe.
Also, Jenna has a point. She needs a token on here.
Well, I didn't want to put her on there if she wasn't fighting, but it's here. I can put her on there.
But this is.
I'm also going to be working to get everyone custom tokens this weekend, or if you already have one, basically importing it into the collection. That's my plan for this weekend, is to get those done. Now that my Sundays are free, it gives me a little bit more time to do D&D prep and some other character project prep, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, so...
And merch drawing, right?
Oh yeah, merch drawing is going to be a thing as well. So...
I think if you're going to do it, just the cat taking aim down the scope saying perfect would be awesome. But like, perfect.
Yeah, Tabaxi in a white cloak, just being like, perfect.
Yes.
I'd have to make an obscenely large hunting rifle for you. Makes no sense
Yes.
how you're able to carry it. Oh, yeah.
No, like the scope is the entire like shape of my head. Yeah.
Yeah, just the fucking size of it.
Yeah, all you can see when you look through from the other side is just a giant cat.
Yeah. But yeah, so, what you guys think? Starting with Mr.
Like the
Cat.
fucking eye of Sauron.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't like it.
Cactus, I'm asking you a question. What think? How feel?
Good. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Sorry, I was thinking about if I was gonna do some merch, what it would with Yuri, what would it be?
Well, we'll get there when you make funny shit happen. Then we'll be like, yes, we'll clip that moment so I can draw it later.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of them.
But no, as far as honestly, as far as the session goes, like I already said it. Like I'm honestly quite hyped for this. We got a fun little fucking team here. Like
yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic, and I am here for it.
Well, like not even that, just in combat, the way these build, like none of it. I can't say for any. I didn't coordinate with any of y'all on building this character, but I don't know if anybody else did. either.
So I don't
so,
think
like-
anyone coordinated. Jenna is her first time making a character, and she went with a full sea elf water elemental build. You have Bird, who went with a full fire sorcerer gnome build. Rex is his characters from another campaign he never got to use, so it's just basically a really good Barbabar.
But like,
You
we
built
all
yours. Creed is
support each
already a
other.
very good all-around paladin from the build he had before, and then Rage just went full sniper, and then you have Stealth playing an artificer artillerist, which gives you a lot of utility and versatility in combat. It's just like the party comp is ridiculous. I'm
fucking
here for
yeah,
it.
like the like we did no like collaboration on this, but all of these characters are incredibly capable of supporting one another.
It's in combat, you all can support each other. In attitudes and conversations, you will be at each other's asses constantly.
But I love
It's
that.
gonna,
Like,
think that was the goal.
puzzle people.
Yeah.
They're gonna see us like freaking at each other's throats, and then combat starts, and we just suddenly snap into like a well-oiled machine. We'll be like, what
Like the fucking A
fuck?
team.
yeah, I
Just
love
like-
that kind of dynamic though. It's like, okay, we're always at each other's throats, yelling and screaming at each other, but the minute combat starts, it is a fucking symphony.
It is
Literally the fucking A
poetry
team.
in motion.
Was-
Yeah.
Was who's allergic to milk?
Who's allergic to milk? Quick! Someone make a quirk for
It
themselves.
better not be the tabaxi.
Oh no!
I mean, cats are. You're not supposed to give
Me
milk to
allergic to
cats.
cream? You mean?
okay, no, I'm done with that.
But yeah, Blackbird, what'd you think? What'd you feel?
Well, apparently Creed can't hit the broadside of a friggin' barn.
It
It's
happens. You went through a temporal rift for 13 years. It's fine.
And you got some cobwebs to shake out.
Yeah, you're shaking
Yeah,
the
a
rust
little bit
off.
of temporal drunkenness.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal. I will the barn. Fuck. I was gonna say I don't have to deal with barns anymore. But that's not what I do. So
I mean, you don't.
I was
There's no
pro.
bards in the party, but there is Cactus, who's playing a rogue swashbuckler. That's basically just a bard
I
that can do
would
damage.
minimum 3
Yeah, I
seconds
have-
before I start making fun of him in character.
I literally have a +10 to persuasion. Like, come at me.
Jesus fuck.
Oh shit!
I
Oh.
have a
Here we
+10 in
go.
acrobatics, persuasion, and stealth. Come the fuck at me.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
That stealth is gonna help with the melee though.
What else you got there, Mr. Blackburn?
He's speechless.
He's speechless. All right.
No,
Jennison,
the rain is
jump
just.
on. That's fair.
Oh.
That's fair, bud. You're good.
Did you
Jenna,
say me?
Yeah. What you got? I know you were kind of in and out and listening.
Yeah. No, I'm from what I have seen and like tuned back into. I am going to be joining into an oh fuck next week. I don't know
Yes.
what the fuck these hoodlums have gotten us into. I've just tagged along for the ride at this point. I'm like, oh, okay, a giant fucking bear creature. Hooray.
That's what we walked.
Don't worry. Wait until we start fighting. Wait until we start fighting some humanoid opponents, and I start collecting their blood.
Yeah, and I've also decided that Cactus, I'm gonna have to carry my water sphere with me everywhere I go, aren't I? With you and your freaking threats of fire.
You see,
I mean, you have
he's
two
not
fire
the
mages,
worst one though. Bird
Yeah.
is all pyromancer. Cactus
Yeah,
just
Bird-
has fire and explosions, but
But Bird is like
Bird
hardcore.
is
in
an
like that.
entire pyromancer.
Or
Like the difference-
completely checked out when talking about the spices too. Like I was like, why are these guys obsessed with spices? They're just
Because
spices.
that's his
What are
quirk.
spices?
Like the difference
I know.
in magical ability between a splashed sorcerer like me, like I'm 3 and 8, or sorry, I'm 3 and 5, versus a pure sorcerer is kind of nutty. Like those extra 3 levels in sorcerer is kind of a big deal because you
Not a
have
big deal.
4th level spells now, don't you?
So hang on. We're gonna roll past. We're gonna save that for the after the session speaks. So Rage, how did you feel?
Yeah.
What'd you like?
I'll admit I was nervous as fuck coming into this. 'Cause I knew Blackbird and Cactus have played quite a bit So this only being my second campaign. I mean, I guess 1.5 really, because still going with the other one. Yeah, I was kind of nervous. Didn't know if I was going to be able to RP as well, and so on and so forth. But I felt good. I felt good.
You
Good.
did very well.
Oh yes.
If you need help, I'm willing to help you. So
I don't know how much experience you two have RPing, but you guys, you two, Orcos and Wolfen, y'all did really fucking well. Like, I am here for that.
Warfin is Bird. Bird's not here.
Even like Nameless, my boy, Nameless, right? You did quite well with using like playing into the whole I'm a cat thing. Like, love that shit.
Yeah, I figured as much. I mean, you know, if I'm gonna fucking do it, just run with it, right?
Yeah, like I absolutely love that.
Fact, Cactus here, really. So, no, your cat, he's down for that hard. So,
what are we talking about? You cut out there. I didn't hear what you said.
And I said, Cactus here is really into cat girls. So
yes.
you being a cat, for that.
Why are you gonna fucking throw me? Yes, fine. Yes, I like my cat girls. Bite me.
It made me laugh that when I was muted, it made me laugh when you guys were like, I think it was Bird. Wolf. How do you say his name again?
Warfin.
When Warfin's like, I don't know why you have to have an attitude. I'm like, haha, we're already punched into Aura's attitude. Good.
All right, so then
yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought we did really well with the fight. I mean, the one fight, obviously, but I thought we did really, really well. Like Cactus was saying, just kind of how everything was, really well orchestrated. Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome. I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. Like, when's next week? Can I be here already?
I feel that. I'm super hyped for it. Mr. Stealth, what you got?
I am ready to see what happens, actually, for when a spell messes up. I am really so stoked to see how this is going to play out, to be honest.
I'm terrified because my odds are higher than yours. Put it that way.
I may not cast spells, but I have a little fire spell casting gremlin on my shoulder half the time, so...
Gremlin.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of scary if he is in that one again on a spell and he's on your shoulder.
Don't worry,
that will not be fun.
If you pyromancers get out of hand, I got water to combat. We're good.
I mean, you're going to quickly turn those guys the flamethrowers in Saving Private Ryan's D-Day scene.
I'm not gonna lie. You're probably gonna be very fucking useful because at some like this is not a matter of if. This is a when. Okay, when either him or I inadvertently light some shit on fire with collateral damage, having that water on hand is going to be genuinely helpful.
I mean, I have a lot of fire too, so
like
yes, with your fire turret.
Shit is inevitably gonna get lit on fire. Like that's not a question. It is a when.
My water sphere is a level 4 spell, so my window is for like the unstable magic or whatever is slim.
I mean, level 4, you're looking at 4 to 16. That's still a pretty solid window of success.
Yeah, I guess.
It's really not that bad.
I guess I have like tidal wave and stuff too, so we'll be okay.
Do you have the There's a cantrip, create water.
Hang on. Again, we're going on a tangent. Hold it tight.
Sorry.
Stealth.
Fucking ad break.
No, I'm good.
All right, Rexus, what you got?
I mean, I quite enjoyed it. I did finally find my dice actually, so that is it does exist.
Oh, good.
Still.
Good.
But yes, I thought it vanished into the void for a while. But I enjoyed how the fight went and how, I mean, yeah, we definitely worked very well together in the fight. It went quite nicely. We did have the benefit of the troll rolling really low and becoming frightened. But
yes, that was a good thing on that part.
Yeah. I was joking, but I have my new catchphrase now, so there's that.
That is the thing you got now.
I mean, you can work on that too.
God,
That could just be.
What is the
That-
catchphrase?
It's time to cook.
Oh my
I
god.
love that. I'm here for it. So with that, I'm super excited for this campaign. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving you guys working in combat. Those 2 trolls you fought were both CR 10.
Oh wow!
So that was really interesting. I tried to up the ante a little bit to see how you guys would do against. They had 156 hit points each.
I was gonna say, well, that one was a fucking bullet sponge, man. Literally.
Yeah. You just kept slapping them. It's just they could not move fast enough. What you guys have advantage on is that all of you have really good movement speed. So that is definitely something you have. 156, both of them.
Bro, I took off a third of its health in
Jesus.
one hit.
Yeah.
Dude, this build
Yeah, I
might
was-
actually be a little crazy.
I was doing pretty close to that for range damage. So that's pretty dope too.
Oh yeah, dude, Rangers can get fucking nutty.
So
I've
before
seen
we
some
get
Ranger
anything
builds.
else, I'm going to close it out here, just so everyone is aware. We're going to be rating out to Danny and basically showing her some TLC. We're going to have the next Beyond Etheria Ashes session next Friday at 9 p.m. We're going to hopefully have everyone here. The first one's a little bit scuffed, and that's normal. So we're going to do that. Tomorrow is the Siege of Etheria, the Saturday game, with Salty, Mandy, Rexus, Rage, Stealth, and everyone else in the crew is going to be there for it. That one's going to be fun. It's going to be a little bit retrospective, and there's going to be a little bit of realization on the sense of the party. Because something...
Are we in this map too?
So, something I showed you guys earlier is a bit of a foreshadowing to tomorrow. So, when he was talking about the cradle, how there was the Goliath, the human, the elves, and the dwarf going in, it's the cave that you're in front of from last session on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be
I
a little
heard
bit...
you drop my character's name.
Yeah. Just
He
basically
did.
pronouncing it like shit constantly. Coverall, some weird dwarf.
Yeah, I heard that too. I was like, oh, this is where this shit's tying in.
Yeah, because you're basically going to realize something come tomorrow, which I'm super excited for, because it opens up a few doors for what I'm planning on doing for expanding the world. But
Totally
with
gonna have one of the biggest games to hit 3 books.
Yeah, but with that, thank you all for being here. Of course, thanks to our players, A Moist Cactus, Bratty Jenna, Blackburn, It's Time to Rage, Stealth Rage 7, Rexus, and of course Bird, who had to go to the sleeps. Thank you all for being here and watching on this premiere of Beyond Etheria Ashes. We hope to see you next time. We hope to see you tomorrow. Have yourself a day, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Until we
Well, for what I was there, that was fun.